I ain't got it. Hold up. All right. All right. Okay. All right. Now here I go again. I see the crystal visions. All right. We ready. We ready for another beautiful one. Ready for another magnetic one. Ready for another life-filled, a joyful-filled one. Yo, are y'all ready? Are y'all ready? If you're ready, say I'm ready. Yo, we finna get ready to do this thing, man. Yo, peace to everybody who's here with me. Yo, peace to you. Peace to you if you've been here before. You know exactly what's about to happen. And peace to those who are just finding themselves here. Peace to you that you've tuned your spiritual algorithm to find yourself in such a place. I guarantee you there is no other space like it. Yo, here we go. Here we go. Yo, I'm just giving it a second, waiting for the pot to get hot, waiting for the brother guys and the sister guys to bop in the building. And while that's taking shape and form, let me go ahead and set my intention for the live real quick. Yo, universe, it's me again. Universe, I ask you that you give me all the words that I need to convey the message that I'm bringing forth tonight. Universe, I ask you to make me still, make me clairvoyant within every single message you're sending me. Universe, I ask you to bring me people who want to love, who want to laugh, and who want to understand. Universe, I also ask you to bring me people who want to give me an understanding, give me something to eat from so that I may grow as well. Universe, I ask you to make this place a special place full of love and peace and abundance and joy and beauty and magic and wealth and health, experience and just life and light beyond all compare With that being said, yo, peace, balance, love, and light, and all those good vibrational words that make you feel right. Welcome back to Godtalk, the only live stream on this piece of shit app that's going to bust down who you are to your molecular being and how that falls in complete synchronicity with the cosmos. I'm your host, Sirius, period, Big Dot, the golden god, the fire god, the dirt god, the water god. Yo, I am everything and everything is me. And we back at it for another beautiful one. Peace. Peace to all my beautiful brother guys and sister guys out there. Yo, have you taken responsibility? Have you taken responsibility for your life? Even for your parents, have you taken responsibility for your parents? Have you taken responsibility for the world that you live in, for the way that you see the world, for the way that the world views you? Have you taken responsibility? You see, that's something that we really, really wrestle with, accountability and responsibility. We're so quick to pass the blame, pass the buck. I didn't do it. It wasn't my fault. I didn't ask to be here, when in fact you did do it. In fact, it was your fault. In fact, you did ask to be here. You see, it's something very beautiful in taking accountability, about taking responsibility for the world that you live in, because that sets you in a place where you're not alien to it. Where when things happen to you, you know that you are the reason behind that thing happening to you. And from there you can grow from it. From there you can see a higher plane from it, or the reason of it, or the gift behind it, because there's a gift in every moment. There's a gift in every instance, even an instance that you feel like was of bad luck or of terrible karma. That is still something that has a gift very finely wrapped in it. I feel like the world is so caught up with passing the buck so much that we don't even want to take responsibility for our children, for our schools, for the medicine, for the music, for our government officials. We don't want to take no responsibility for that. We don't want to take any responsibility for the wars, for the famine, let alone for ourselves. I look out in the world right now and I see so many people. Oh, they're so successful. But they failed you. People driving around in $1 million cars and living in $1 million houses, but although they may be a success for themselves, they failed you. I know me, I could not be a millionaire and I see somebody sleeping on the street and I'm not helping them. I couldn't, because I am the world that I live in. You see what I'm saying? I couldn't look at a war and pick a side on it. You see what I'm saying? Because the way I feel, both of y'all motherfuckers is wrong for picking up guns against each other. Both of y'all are wrong. If I'm taking full responsibility, we're all wrong. Hello, it's me. I've been wrong. But I think we as a people, we're so caught up in what right. As a people, we're so caught up in what's right in front of our face, besides what's in our hearts. See, in our heart of hearts, we know that we all want peace, we all want love, we all want everybody to live a long and healthy life. But when you're dealing with what's in front of your face, you got hunger, you got survival, you got fear, you got the fear of missing out, FOMO, jealousy, greed, Forgetting that all these things in you are help creating the world around you. Yo, if I'm a jealous person, it doesn't matter who I get with in a relationship. That person's going to be jealous too. If I'm a weak person, it doesn't matter who I get with in a relationship. That person's going to be weak too. But if I'm a strong person, then I'll attract a strong being. If I'm in a strong mind, I will create a world around me that cannot be torn down. You see, it's so easy to be like, oh, I want peace, give me peace, give me peace. How am I God, bro? Because you are. Because you are God. See, it's one thing for people to be like, give me peace, but they still indulge in their low-like behavior. Yes, you are. Yes, you are. Although, as God, I command you to Venmo me $40. I don't have Venmo, and you can't make a command for me that you can't do for yourself. If you can't Venmo yourself $40, then don't ask anybody else to do it for you. I didn't make this world. Absolutely you did. Absolutely you made this world. You're making it now, beloved. You're making it now, beloved. Right now, brick by brick, piece by piece, sand by sand, blade of grass by blade of grass. You're making it right now. See, but y'all forget how I will go ahead, be out, find your way out like you found your way in. But y'all forget how we are divinely interconnected with this experience. This experience is not doing you, you're doing it. Or rather, should I say, you and the experience are doing each other. How you are what's making the sun bright and hot. How you are making the stars twinkle, how you are making the trees grow. Because all consciousness in the universe is one. And it doesn't matter if you see that consciousness as being disconnected from yours, it ain't. Even the most divine consciousness that you can think of is very, very interconnected with who you are. I'm not God. There's a lot of people who claim that. And if you don't want to be God, then hey, you won't be God. At least not in your eyes. But in the eyes of the universe, you are. This is why you have to use the right set of eyes to even see what I'm talking about. You have to have the right set of ears to even hear what I'm talking about. This ain't for everybody. Although it is for everybody, not everyone will understand. But I don't discount you because you may not understand. I do not discount you because you may not understand what I'm saying to you. You know how like you discount me because you don't understand what I'm saying? See, we're speaking two different languages. Although we are speaking the same language, we're speaking from two different vibrations of this language, which makes it two different languages. That's the fun part. That I can use words and say things in such a way, although you know what every one of those words mean, you don't know what I mean. I think that's amazing how you can look at a forest and see so many different aspects of the forest and so many different times of the years or time of day. And if you go in that forest one day, it might be something completely different from what you seen the last day, or at night, or in the winter, or in the summer. But it's still the same forest. How is this? That's because angles of light, is everything. Angles of light is everything. And that's what we all are. Angles of light. Or I'm sorry. That's what we're all expressing. Angles of light. Because we're all light. You just like to express your light in a certain type of angle. Ain't nothing wrong with that. I had a dream of God. It was a message of lowliness. It'd be like that. Truth fears no exposure. Nah, I really don't. It really don't. That's why I'm an open book. That's why I know any secret is going to be yelled from the rooftops. There is no secret on this earth that will hide from me. Kind of how y'all say God know everything. Yeah, when you get that type of frequency, you actually know what that means. How you can't hide from God. Facts. See, me, I'm not sitting on here trying to act like I'm better than anybody out here, because I'm not. Why? Because I see something that you may not. No, I'm not finna act like that. But what I am going to act like is that you are truly divine. The same way that everything on this planet, in all of existence, outside of this, in all of the universe, it's all divine. Every thought comes from a space of divinity. Even the thoughts that you would deem as being a horrible thought, there's still something divine in there. An understanding of self that only you could see. What's missing? Ain't nothing missing. Ain't nothing missing. Everything's included. Everything's included in here. Ain't nothing missing. It's all included. Batteries included. There's only one love, light, liberty, longevity, pursuit of happiness. I know, right? SDD is, ain't that right? This is what I'm saying. We are all it. Tag. Come play with me. I'm playing tag right now. The first game we learn how to play as children. I'm playing tag right now. How do we rid ourselves of our ego? You don't rid yourself of your ego, Elton. You become one with it. Not to let it rule over you, but to become one with it. That way your ego will act as a shield, not an hindrance. You see, right now, even me, I'm living in my ego. The ego of me even calling myself serious, or even saying myself or I. That's an ego. But that ego used properly helps me to connect with my brothers and sisters, truly connect with the world around me. We don't get rid of it. We bring it to light. We are all spiritual beings covered in flesh and blood, living through consciousness. Absolutely. How does an authentic light connect to the source? By realizing you don't have light connect to the source. By realizing you don't have to connect to it. by realizing you don't have to connect to source, that even the fact that you're here now, breathing, living, talking, speaking, hell, you don't even have to be inside of a body. You're connected to source. So it's not a fact of getting tapped in. It's a fact of getting tuned in. Because you're already there, you're just not tuned. You know, kind of like when you remember those old radios used to turn the channels and you hear the static and then you hear some, oh, today on 5 o'clock news, and then you keep turning and then you hear some, oh, my lonely darling. You got to get tuned. Ego must be understood and embraced to become one with it. Absolutely. Absolutely. Ain't nothing new about what I'm saying to you, bro. There is nothing new about this. Makai, new about what I'm saying to you, bro. There is nothing new about this. Makai says, I am human only. As a man thinketh, so shall he be. And if you think that you're just human, then you're no better than fungus. If you think you're better than humans, if you think you're just a human, then you're no better than fungus. You're just fungus. In fact, you're just fungus. Nope, I am human, not fungus. See, he don't even know what humans is. He don't even know that your closest relative is, your closest plant relative is fungus. You don't even realize that. You see how when people really don't know what they are, when they mistake the driver for the car, when they mistake that driver for the car, yo, it'd be real funny if you pulled up in a Chevy and I called you Chevy all night. My name's Brian. No, you're Chevy because you're driving a Chevy, aren't you? Yeah, I'm driving a Chevy, but my name's Brian. No, you're Chevy. Do you dream? Right now. I'm dreaming right now. An elaborate dream. A dream so elaborate that I don't even realize that it's a dream. An elaborate dream. 0 out of 10 rage bait. If you think that this is rage bait, then I would hate to see what you watch on TV. I would hate to see what the rest of your TikTok algorithm looks like if you think that this is rage bait. Here I am saying that we are all gods. Thoughts create will. Wills create manifestation. That's rage bait. Look at me. I'm raging over the bait that you have placed before me right now. Trust me, brother. I am not trying to rage bait you. I am giving you love. I'm giving you life. I'm giving you purity. No rage bait. Yo, Air wanna come up and holler at me. Let's create the space for it. Yo, Air, peace, balance, love, and light. Yo, welcome to Godtalk.
What's going on, good sir?
Oh, I'm sorry, I had my phone turned on. How are you doing, brother?
I'm doing swell.
All right, all right. So, what would you like to talk about, beautiful brother?
Um, how are you defining gods?
As you, nothing short of you, everything that you are.
Right. So you So basically, it always, I think, things can be simplified as that same old word, like it is what it is, but it doesn't seem like it seems too basic. But
Oh, are you calling yourself basic?
no, the interpretation is basic.
What interpretation is basic? I'm sorry. I'm trying to follow you. What exactly about the interpretation is basic?
I mean, because if you, the very idea to try to define what is and to describe it in any manner is it has to be basic. There's nothing actually to, I know that being quote unquote with this brain up here, like having conversations about anything, that's what we do. But there's really no need to try to proliferate, to try to talk, I mean to try to describe it. It just is what it is. But
I understand. I do. I understand that.
because the only reason
Now,
I'm
what?
saying that is because like I to a degree I agree that yeah we are, but it's interesting given the English language, given a lot of other things. It's like yeah, to some degree the God conversation seems to be more so on the quote unquote positive side, but then they don't attribute the quote unquote negative side as being God as well, which
Uh,
then now there's a separation of what is it, everything being is what it is, because then it's like, all right, we all gods, but then that more so means, we are living high vibrational, we are doing this, we're doing that, but then don't mess up or don't do this or doing the quote unquote bad things means that that's not godly. Well, I
that
think it
doesn't
all
mean that.
is. Huh?
Yeah. Yeah. I'm with you. I'm completely
Okay,
with
okay,
you.
yeah. That's why I was trying to get to, like, what is that quote unquote definition of gods, because I hear people use it more so as, you know, they're trying to attribute it to just the quote unquote good things. But
I don't live in a world of duality, brother.
okay, all right,
Everything is one.
all right.
I understand that no one chooses evil simply because it is evil. They only mistake it for the good that they seek. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
to a degree, because even for an example of even being healthy, a part of being healthy is to be somewhat active physically. In that physicality actually what's going on a muscular level. It's things getting torn apart down in the muscle. You know what I'm saying? It's small, you know, tears in the muscle is literally what's going on. But that which causes some pain, but in the totality of what it is, you become quote unquote healthier by way
Hmm.
of going through. You're literally destroying at a molecular level. You're destroying some muscle tissue in order to build and become
More.
stronger and healthier. So it's a
That,
dynamic of
I mean, but isn't that the paradox? No pain, no gain.
yeah, true indeed.
And I think that's a beautiful paradox of life that you have to give to get. What you put in is what you get out. Isn't that a marvelous paradox of life that the God power shows up in not only minimal form but the greatest form ever, and it's all an exchangeable of energy.
Right. So then now I'm just thinking on the top of my head, um, because then my one of my questions will be, well, damn, what do we think about the quote unquote things that are holding us back or deterring or um quote unquote making it more difficult to reach this quote unquote understanding of things because seemingly the world is caught up in a quote unquote capitalistic system, is caught up in this, is caught up in that. But that thing that so called being caught up in is still, it still is what it is. It's still a different form of that same quote unquote godhood, just done in a way that we don't necessarily agree with. And I will that's my
Well,
examples of that is like with
well, see,
government.
it's the
Go
see,
ahead.
it's but we have to realize we're living in a world where people know and people don't know. And the people who know come from a long line of people who know. And the people who know, that same line is also fueled with power of trying to control a narrative to keep the world as the heaven that they've created for themselves.
I got
Ill
you.
gotten, ill gotten as it is, ill gotten as it is. The same way they paid, they get what they paid for is the same way we get what we paid for. My brother, it's not the people creating the narrative. It's us of our lack of I mean our abundance of ignorance and our lack of doing our due diligence to see the world that we live in. And that all goes to just say that there are people out there that are still asleep to not only where we are, but who we are.
Yeah, yeah, I agree. It's just it's like giving our ability to be what would be described as a more like a global um giving our like the ability to like peer into what's going on in China and like stuff that the technology is allowing is broadening us to see to take in a lot of different information, but at the same time, like it almost makes things blurry because there's a lot of information to take in to get to the
All that
level of
stuff,
understanding of self. Because there's a
all that
lot.
stuff is still blinding you. They
Yeah, right.
all this knowledge, even the knowledge of the ancients, the what I hear a lot of our people talking about, well, the ancients this and aliens this, that, and all that stuff is still blinding you. It's the reason why they give you certain types of food. When I was in high school, our student class got tired of getting fed chicken nuggets, and they we all voted for it and whatnot, and they switched it with fucking with hamburgers, more hamburgers. So it's not like the only way that we're going to really invoke change is if we get in the cafeteria and start making the orders. You know what I mean?
Yeah, 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 I got you.
But until we continue sitting on the outside trying to vote for the change, knowing that
Right.
no matter what change we ask for, they're not going to give us that. If we continue to build a system around us that's going to hurt us, if we continue to rely on a system that has done nothing but hurt us, then we will get exactly what we paid for.
Yeah, I agree with that. And that's because, like, I look at it, and I don't know, most people might not agree, but it's just my perspective. Is like, even on the side of all of us being guys, but then I don't like. It's not like I'm trying to like because for the example that I jokingly say with a couple of friends that I talk to is that like Elon Musk is just he's living in the level of he's just a quote unquote higher god than you. Not in the sense of being better or anything than that. I'm just saying as far as the ability to have resources, power, and influence, he's living at a level quote unquote godhood that is palpable because the reason I'm saying this too, because you said like got to get in the kitchen, but because people are like, yeah, when you say like voting it in and all that, I'm like, listen, look at, not that it's the best example, but it's like, look at what this dude is doing, because he did things to be in that type of position to where that is what he's
Right.
doing, and
He,
so now
you think
he
he around here
can
trying? You think he around here trying to vote, or he actually
basically, yeah,
getting it?
yeah, that's what
There's a
I'm saying.
difference.
Yeah,
There's a
that's a bit.
difference.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
that's more so what I was saying. I'm like, listen, y'all might not agree with what he's doing, but listen, you, you, if you would think there's a better way, then now you have to put yourself in a better situation for you to be able to be at a level where you can put the resources together to put out the ideas and have a
Absolutely.
impact on the reality that you live in. If not, then yeah, of course, this is nothing new. It's just that you know
Yeah.
can't if you
But you
can't.
know,
Yeah,
now I was finna say but yeah, if you can't stand the heat, get out your kitchen, right? But hey, Air, I appreciate you, bro. I got other people want to get up here.
yeah, yeah,
Holla at
yeah.
me. I appreciate you. Peace to
No, I
you,
appreciate
beautiful
you too.
brother.
Yeah.
All right. There was a sister who was in the queue. She wanted to. Let me see if she's. They people be so impatient. But we got somebody else who just popped up, so let's allow the space. Oh, Aaron, he's coming back to let me know I'm a demon. And little does he know, I love him.
Oh man,
Hey,
you don't even know or understand the love of God, do you?
how are you doing,
I'm
Aaron?
doing good. Thanks
Well,
to my
I'm
Lord
I'm
Jesus
so glad
Christ,
to
my
hear
Lord
that.
and Savior. I mean, He
Have you
came and
eaten?
He
Have
rescued
you
me,
eaten
man.
good? Excuse me, Aaron. Have you eaten good today? How are your children?
No, I
How
didn't
was your
eat
mother?
good. I didn't.
You
I
didn't?
drank last night. Had a little too much alcohol. Woke up this morning with no
Oh
appetite. Didn't
no.
eat. Skipped breakfast. Only ate about a half a uh, taco pie this
Oh
afternoon.
man.
I hadn't even
Oh.
ate no supper. I'm over here sipping and
Aaron, you got
drinking.
to start taking better care of yourself, brother.
I
You
know.
can't
I
do
mean,
your
I am the
body like
temple of
that.
God. I mean,
I know. That's what I'm saying. Treat your temple as the temple. Take
it's
care of
God who
yourself.
dwells in us. I mean, as far as you like being God, you're not, bro. Now we will be transformed. We will be
Okay.
brought
Well.
up.
Oh. Well.
We
Well.
will
Well.
be.
That's
We
beautiful.
will be
I'm more
just
or less
like
worried
God.
about your health, Aaron.
Yeah. But as far as right now, I'm not God. My name's Eric, actually, not Aaron, but my name's Eric. I'm learning, growing, and yeah, I need to take better care of myself. That's for sure. Just like we all
I,
need to do.
and I'm telling you that because I love you. All this God stuff put aside, brother. Even though we can't put it aside, but
Man, you sound
I'm
very
telling you
good,
this.
man, brother.
I'm
You
telling you
sound
this
like
because
a
I love
very
you.
sweet voice and sound like everything good. But whenever you say that we are all gods, I'm like, I'm questioning who are you?
I told you who I am,
Who?
Aaron.
What's your name?
And my name is the name of all names. If he
So you're
called me
proclaiming to
God,
be God.
if he called me God, unto whom the
Man,
word God
I'm just saying,
came,
if you're God,
scripture cannot be
you
put
need to get
aside,
up off
brother.
your ass and start doing your job and start healing the sick, raising demons out, and
What do you
doing
think
all
I'm
the
doing
works of
now,
God. I mean,
Aaron?
it's good.
What do you think I'm doing now, Aaron? I even sat up here and called you out on your
You're
demon, then
deceiving
told
people,
you that
man.
you need to take better care of yourself.
I'm sorry, brother, but you're not God. You're the devil. You got demons in you, man.
I
If
love
you're
you,
telling
Aaron.
people that we
Glory
are
to
all
you, though. I
gods,
love
that's a
you.
false ass lie from the straight pits of hell.
Well, if
I'm
it's a
not trying
lie,
to be
then
rude,
Jesus
but I'm
told it.
telling you,
If
if
it's
you
a
think you're
if it's a
God,
lie, Aaron,
you're
Aaron, if
equal
a
to
lie, then
Satan.
Jesus told it.
That's exactly
Aaron,
what the devil thought he could do is be God.
If it's a lie, then Jesus told it, brother.
No, Jesus don't lie. He's truth, the way, and the life.
Well, then if Jesus doesn't lie, then you must take my word too, because is it not written in your law, I have said ye are gods? That's Jesus saying that. That's straight from scripture.
That's
And yet you
true.
continue
It's
to deny
called
me.
demon
You
gods.
deny
It's
scripture. You
little
deny
g.
God. You deny Jesus.
There's only one God, one Jesus, one Lord, one Savior. Now, as far
And
as
if you've
talking about
seen
you
me,
are
that
all
you've seen
God,
the God.
he's talking
If
about
you
demon
go
gods.
ahead.
You have a demon in you if you think you're God. That's the same thing that happened to Satan. He fell. He was the bright and morning star, and he fell from kingdom of God. He fell down and hit the earth. I mean, because he thought he could be God. No, you are not God. There's only one God. That's the Lord Jesus Christ. We are in God, and yes, God is with us and for us. But no, if you're God and you're not doing God's job, I suggest you are the devil, because God, he makes everything right and makes everything perfect.
Aaron, I love you, brother.
I love you
Thank you
too,
so
man,
much
but
for
don't fall in the trap of the devil. You ain't no God. You are.
that. And you ain't no man. Aaron was fun, right? You're way more than man. You're way more than that flesh that you carry around. That flesh that you're shoveling alcohol to every night. Eating taco what? A taco what? Taco pie? He said. How interesting. So interesting. And then look at me, because I tell him that he's good. I tell him that he's great. I tell him that he's more. And you call me a demon for that? Because I use the same words as your deity that you claim so much. That you claim so much. And he still weeps for you. You continue to make Jesus weep. How about you make him smile? Instead of shoveling all that shit into your flesh, thinking that you're getting some type of satisfaction out of life because I'm a man. Let thine eye be single and thy body filled with light. You cannot serve two masters. And for you coming in here showing off that one master very clearly goes to tell me that you don't even know the master that you're even trying to represent. I love you though, Aaron, but your house is separated. Yo, let me get to the next beautiful person. Yo, accolade. Yo, peace, balance, love, and light. All those good vibrational words that make you feel right. Yo, accolade. Yo, welcome to Godtalk. Hold on, accolade. Hey, love. I've spoken to Aaron many times. He comes up here continuously, many times. But I want you to know, every time that I speak to someone on here, I speak directly to the spirit. I don't speak to your flesh. But go ahead, accolade. What's going on, brother?
Oh, thank you, Lord Sirius, for accepting my invite. This life is hard, Lord Sirius. All I do is pray to you. I pray to the cosmos. I pray to everything that you lead, and it gets easier and easier. But your way is the one true way. I can see that clearly now
No,
in my journey to the
no,
Sirius.
no, no, accolade. That's not it. Though
No?
my
Oh,
way is the spirit's way. My way is the divine light's way. It's our way that we share together. Do not pray to me. Pray, pray that your eyes be open and that your body be filled with light. Pray that you seek nothing but the knowledge of the true self. Don't pray to me, brother. I love you enough
oh,
to
man.
tell you that you're a very
Oh, yeah.
beautiful soul.
Oh, your magical words and majestic letters coming out of your mouth. My goodness, touch every oh, Lord, serious, you are one of a kind. I don't know anyone could live without.
I'm not one of a kind. I'm with you, bro. But accolade, why you doing this, bro? What's
I
your
was just
point of
trying
this,
to.
brother?
That was after the last guy. Yeah, after the last guy when he's like, "Oh, you're nothing." You're not Jesus. I don't know what you are thinking. I was like, oh my goodness. So at least let someone come up what people are thinking that you're running. You know?
Yeah, no,
So
nah.
yeah.
I hear that,
Some
brother,
people are
but
like him and
they
some people
don't.
are like me. He needs to respect diversity, you know?
Yeah, facts. But
Yeah, he
we
needs to
don't. We
respect
shouldn't have
diversity.
to.
Yeah.
We shouldn't have to play their game in order for us to have a good time, right?
Yeah. It puts a nice point across using him as the example and someone else coming. But yeah, when he like we are all gods, what does he think? You just put that up for entertainment purposes? Doesn't he read his book? Doesn't he read what his so-called savior says about us being gods?
I, I don't think he
Like
did.
he don't read
That's
his
the
book. You
reason
could tell he
why.
don't read his book. Yeah,
This is the reason why
he's
he
a Christian, but he
argues with
doesn't read his
this.
book.
Right.
Yeah,
And
you gotta
it's
read your
just
own
it's I
book.
think it's very interesting. I think it's very interesting to see someone to know the word but walk the exact opposite. And then when someone is speaking, they like try to bring up something that they're not doing. I like to call those people hypocrites. But, I'll let them be. But your accolade,
Serious. Oh, okay. I was gonna say one more thing. Your message is not claiming to be God. It's just a oneness, and they interpret that as you being God, and it's just a mischaracterization of what you're trying to do here. It's
yeah,
crazy. Like that's the end. Like that's the whole thing. You never say I'm the savior. You never say nothing like that. Why do they understand your message of oneness and that we are all connected, like a unity message? Why do they take your unity message and try to, say that it's demonology? Like what the heck? You're not listening to Sirius?
because
Like I don't get it.
they don't understand, brother.
It's like, you just don't understand. Like, I don't listen to your message and I hear that. I don't hear what they're understanding that you're saying. I hear it very clearly, simple, oneness, unity. We're all in it together. And it's like they want
Yeah,
to be separate. No,
and
it's like they don't want to be a part of you.
they don't want to be a part of the experience, brother. You see how they even talk about the experience?
Yeah.
This is hell. This is hell. Oh, people are sick. People are. You hear
Like,
how they even talk about the experience?
yeah, the experience.
You can
It's,
tell how they're
it's
not
like, right.
living in the spirit within they're not living within the spirit of the experience. They're living primarily, solely in the body.
You are against everything negative all day. If it's negative, you're against it. But it's not a secret that in this
I'm
world
not.
we
I'm
have
not
things that
against it.
separate people from other people.
I'm not
Yeah.
against it.
Oh, you. Oh, yeah. You're not against it. You are among it. You
I
are.
transmute it.
Yeah. Transmute it.
You know,
Transmute it.
I love I love for the negative energy to come at me just so I can do the old switcheroo and send it back
Oh,
out.
okay.
I love it. I love it. Can't get enough of it.
Like,
Can't get enough of changing people's hearts. Can't get enough of breaking the ice around people's hearts. Oh, please send me fire. I'll send you back some water. You thirsty? Don't worry, I got you. I can't get enough of healing you. Bring me your pain. Bring me your negative energy. I can't get enough of it.
it's no secret that in this world they have things that separate, that put wedges between people. Instead of unity, we have like diversity. We have racism. We have stuff like that, right? So it's
Right.
like your message brings us together. But like our last guest, I could probably assume his ethnicity Caucasian. It's like they don't want to be connected to because it connects them to you. And no, we are two different people. That's what it sounds like. Like come together. Listen to what Sirius is saying. He's bringing togetherness. But some people would be like, "Oh, well, judging by your voice, I don't want to be a part of you." Like it's like that. Like they have this wedge in society. So I respect
Yeah.
what you're doing and trying to bring everyone together. But some people they have that in their mind and go, "No, I can never be a part of you."
Yeah.
When in essence, like, oh my goodness, you already know. But yeah.
I know, bro. But
So keep
hey,
that in your mind.
accolade.
It's like, yeah,
I keep it in my mind,
okay,
brother. Believe me. I know
yeah.
I know what I'm doing, and being that I know that what I'm doing, I know what is to come up about what I'm doing. I know that if enough ears hear me, I know that I will be attacked in some way. I know it, bro. So it's muting that energy. But Accolade, I love you, brother. Let me let you go so I can get to the next beautiful person. Peace to you, bro. Yo, that was our beautiful, beautiful brother guy, Accolade. Let's keep it going. Barbosa 144. Yo, peace, balance, love, and light. Yo, welcome to God Talk, Barbosa.
Serious. What's up, brother?
Peace, my beautiful brother. How are you?
Peace, man. I'm doing well, brother. Grateful, grateful to be listening to you, man. I really do appreciate your content, man.
Oh man, I mean, if you appreciate the content, that means you just appreciate just awakening every fabric of your being.
True
And in
indeed.
that, and in that, I appreciate you.
True indeed. Yeah. It's almost like that reflection. You know, uh, it's nice because there's a lot that resonates with me that comes from you. So to me, it's a reflection of me, knowing that you are me and I am you. You know, um,
hmm
there's only one. Of course, we are all gods. There's nothing separate from God.
hmm I like to
You
say
know,
three bodies. I like to say three bodies, one mind.
true indeed.
You know, as
And
we
it's
may
like,
see ourselves separately, we still share one mind. And
true,
with
true,
that one mind comes the one body, if you can find it. With that one mind comes the one love, if you can find it.
true. I can see that absolutely.
You know,
Just different expressions.
absolutely,
Yeah, yeah.
absolutely.
Oh, and the gentleman that was on before, I think some people are so deeply in the sleep in a sense with their beliefs, that it's hard for them to have an open mind. Or let me take that back. Maybe it's not hard for them. Maybe it's not time for them to have the right mind and understanding of who and what they are.
Yeah, and it's okay. I don't judge them in
Right?
that, right? Right? We don't judge them in
True.
that, do we?
Yeah, absolutely.
All
Absolutely.
we
Yeah,
can,
yeah, yeah. There's
all
no
we
need to
can
judge.
do, all we can do as big brothers.
Yes, yep. Just leading by example is a good enough impact, right? Whether it's noted, right? Whether it's noted, recognized or not, you being in your power, being aligned with your true self, is enough to have an impact on those around you. Whether it's spoken, non-spoken, physical, whatever that it may be, it can be felt. If you're aligned and you have that self-awareness.
Yeah, yeah, and it's just as simple as saying hello to somebody. It's just as
True,
simple as even you walking down the street seeing a piece of trash that you know you didn't pick up, throw down there, picking it up, and somebody seeing that.
right,
It's something about giving to someone with no cameras around, but
right,
everybody seeing you give to that person.
right.
It's something about
Absolutely,
that,
I know. Because
and go ahead.
my fault.
No, you good,
Yeah,
God.
because to a certain extent, self-love is when you become selfless too, right? There's a point in self-love that
Absolutely.
you become selfless, and I think when you do become selfless, it can be displayed through gestures, like you said, or acts of kindness, like you said.
Yeah. I mean, I think that's what love is. uh, um, random acts of compassion.
Right? And
That's truly what love is.
yeah. Oh yeah. True. Yeah, absolutely. Because we've been almost programmed to believe that love can be a form of an exchange of some sort, right? Like you do for me and I do for you type of thing. That's like
Right.
yeah, unfortunately. Um,
Yeah, cause no, but see what it is they once again, that's that same attitude is what have people standing in the mirror primping themselves. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I do. Oh yeah.
As to say, I have to do so much on the external for someone to love me internally. But no, you don't.
Right. No, you don't. No, you don't. You always had the wholeness, and you always were whole, and the love that you're actually looking for has always been within. But unfortunately,
Yes.
we've been taught to look without. To go outside and look for that love. But once and it's a beautiful thing, man. Because for me personally, I feel like it's continuously unfolding the depth of that love. You know, um, so it's like not to sound crazy, but it puts you in a place where you don't need somebody else to make you feel loved, or but you're
Mm-mm,
willing to show it.
mm-mm. It's like I tell people all the time, bro, I don't even practice self love anymore. My self love is showing the world my love, showing the whole entire
It's true.
universe my love. That's my
It's
self
true.
love because when I show my self love when I show that type of love to the universe, it always comes back to me. So I don't have to love myself. The world does it for me.
Yes.
The universe does it for me. I don't have to take a mental health day or a me
Yeah.
day
Yeah. Yeah.
because
Yeah. Yeah.
every
Because
day
it's
is the
definitely
me day.
true indeed. True indeed. Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, there's certain verbiage that's been thrown around in like the spiritual community that's not only overrated, but it's like it seems to it's almost lost its intent in a sense because it's so loosely turned around. Uh,
Right.
so yeah, I can see that. I can see that. But yeah, that's the
Yeah,
love that
but
that
it's to give people these external pleasures or the feeling of I can't have what I want now because I don't have what I want now.
right. Yep.
When
Yep.
everything that you could possibly ever need is right in front of your face, even the time that you think you don't have, you need it. No, that's what
Yep.
see. So it's 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 all a perception that they're painting for us as if we're losing something. But if you look ever so closely, you realize that you're always gaining, you're always expanding. But if you look at the world as if you're losing out, or something's beating you, or something's defeating you, or you have to survive, or there's something to fear from, or there's some type of love loss, or uh, then the propaganda and the agenda is winning. The
Right.
programming is successful.
Programming. That's key word. That's the key word. Programming. Right. I like that. Yeah, because there is a program in place, and when people say a spiritual awakening, it's like you're awakening, you become a conscious, so you're aware that there is a program in place. But
Hmm.
yeah, yep,
It's
yeah.
it's
It, it,
it's
it,
it's
it's
a
it's
fun game
truly
we're playing, right?
it
It's a
it
fun
is.
game.
It is. It is. It is. It very much so is. At
It's
times it could be.
entertaining.
It could. Yeah. At times it
At
could be
times
a
they give
little
you what?
kind of crazy because you figure like, man, am I you lose grasp of that reality that you once knew. So that starts to fade away, and now you're being retaught. You're being learned. You're being taught the truth, and you're relearning. And I think the relearning process is continuous. It won't stop.
The relearning process it will always be a thing. There's always something that you're going to have to learn and learn over again. Especially
Right.
if you're living life properly.
Right. Right. And maybe
That's a
relearning.
natural thing.
Yeah, yeah. Because I feel like within that learning process, it's something that you once knew might have evolved, or the idea might have evolved to something that you didn't think of or knew at the time, but it felt like you got it, but
Absolutely.
you didn't get it. You know?
Absolutely. For example, medicine or computers.
Right,
It's always evolving or changing. Ways of teaching is always evolving and changing. That so as to say that you gotta always stay like within the loop of what's what's being put out into the universe to stay whole within yourself.
Yes.
Not
Yes.
to let what's going on out there make you or break you, but just for you to know where you are. The same way you get up in the morning and look out the window to see if it's raining, just to
Mm,
see where you are.
right. Yup.
Facts. But yo, Barbosa, anything else you wanna talk about, bro?
My brother, that's it. And once again, I just wanted to tell you that I appreciate you, appreciate your content, I appreciate what you're doing. There's been a couple times where I'm skimming through TikTok and I've heard, I heard you speak and it's like automatic. I resonate and I see you. And yeah, man, just keep doing what you're doing. And of course,
Well,
I'm gonna be plugged in with you.
you know the lives is on YouTube now, bro. So serious guy talk on YouTube, you can catch them there too, bro.
I will. I will. I'll check it out.
Absolutely, So whatever ones you miss, you be like, oh shit, I ain't catch it tonight where I can get it you know. So,
Right on
you know.
YouTube. Yeah. Well. Yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Well, peace to you, my beautiful brother guy. Yo, Barbosa, till next time, right?
Peace, man. Have a good one.
Yo, that's our beautiful brother guy, Barbosa. I love him too. Beautiful brothers. Facts. Hold on real quick, y'all. Hold on. All right. All right. Somebody else want to come up and holler at me. Let's create the space for it real quick. Let's get it. Let's get it. Oh, hey, new day, new man, new. Yo, peace to you, brother. But I got somebody else who want to come up and holler at me. I'm sure he's pretty sure he excited to talk to me about his venture. So let's get it going. Yo, soul leveling. Peace, brother.
Divine day, sir.
What's good with you, my beautiful brother?
Oh, just life.
Life is life, and all.
Yes.
Okay.
And that's all I can say is it's just a big ass, deep, deep breath. Like,
Hey, sometimes that's all you can do is just breathe. You know what I
it's,
mean?
yes.
Right.
Did
I
just
find
know.
it. I find it very relaxing. Just like closing my eyes and letting the universe hit my body from every angle and just breathing through it. It's very relaxing. It's awakening too. Even your pinky toe get awoken on some shit like that. Well, I just. But what you want to talk about, bro? Come on, give me something, man. Tell me something, man. I know you got something you want to share. Come on, bro. Give it to me.
We as Americans, like, don't know how, quote unquote, privileged or good that you got it. Like, I left the country 2 years ago. I went to Guatemala and Mexico, and when I tell you, Antigua, Guatemala, I was on climbing a volcano. I ain't go all the way up. I was climbing a volcano, and these people live at the bottom of a volcano. It is nothing there. It is nothing there. It is miles and miles and miles.
Isn't that same volcano that erupted back in the '90s? You talking about?
Oh, I'm not sure.
Oh, okay. Well, never mind. Go ahead then.
But it is miles and miles and miles away from any civilization or whatever. And these people live here. And I'm like, bruh, What you think you're going through, you ain't going through half of what I saw that these people are going through. The fact that you can leave your country whenever you want to, all you got to do is just pay some money, bruh. What we're
Yeah,
complaining about,
was it
and
Mount St. Helens? Was it Mount St. Helens?
nah,
It wasn't. Okay.
no, the stuff
Yeah,
that
but see, although we are very privileged as a people, there is no one on this earth who is living at their full capacity of the way they should be living. Even those rich motherfuckers, they ain't even living.
what you mean by
Like
that?
no one. We're all what disenfranchised, should I say?
Mm-hmm.
But once you realize that, yeah, America, although we are, we have certain privileges, at the same time we don't have certain privileges. You know
Yeah,
what I mean? Like
the
you give
privilege that
something to
you
get
got,
something.
yes, and the privilege that you got, it's like, bruh, like take them bitches and use them to the max. Trust me, like use them to the max. Like I just seen a video. This man said anybody who breaks the law, sue them. I said, you know what? That's right. We've been just letting people do whatever they want to us with no repercussions, and they keep doing it because you're not doing anything about it.
That's what's been happening for the last, what, 10,000 years? Yeah, something like that. Something like that.
That's man. I'm just over here like,
I
bruh,
know I went
like
back. I went a little bit far back. I'm a little older than what you think I am. So
no, no. I get it. I get it. I just want to like, bruh. I'm just grateful. I'm just ecstatic to be existence itself, and just to know that, like, bruh, all is self. It's an illusion
right,
or separation that you're separated from other people. Like, we're the
right,
only species who look at self as individuals when every other species on planet Earth work to a common goal. But now, as you see
right.
that we're quote unquote waking up or whatever, that common goal is coming back online.
Yeah. Which goes to say it was never put away. Just
Yes,
goes to say we have been in a nightmare for a little bit. But it all comes to the sun. So don't even worry about
yes, yes, and it's like you really just be mother like just
it.
just
Just be.
just
And speaking of just be, hey, you just be aware when you out here in these places. Just be
Oh,
aware.
trust me. I'm from Atlanta. I'm like, oh, nigga, you too close. Oh, that shadow. Nope, nope, nope. No, trust me. I'm taking heed to all things that I've acquired and I'm applying them to when I be walking at night and shit or whatever. I'm like, what's there? Trust me.
Yeah.
I know.
What's that? What's that? Who looking? I see
Yup.
eyes. Because they got, it's things. It's things. But hey, Soul Level, I love you, brother. Thank you so much for coming up and sharing with me, beautiful brother. Beautiful brother.
No, love you too.
Peace
And
to you.
Ryan travels as always.
All right. Yeah, that was our beautiful brother, Soul Level. Let's get the next new day, new man, new menu. I don't.
Hey brother, how you doing?
New day, peace to you. What's good with you, beautiful brother?
Hey, so I just
How are
question.
you?
I'm good. I'm good. I'm great.
That's beautiful. All right, what's up with your question? What's up?
Um, yes, a light being.
The the universe itself. We're all light beings. Everything is light. There is nothing around us that isn't light. It's all light.
When when was the last time you were getting higher information?
I'm sorry. Say
When
that
was the
again.
last time you were getting?
Say
When
that
was the
again.
last time you were getting higher information?
Higher information comes in the lower information if you can find it. It's not about higher information or lower information. It's all information, and all information serves.
Is there a firmament?
Yeah, the firmament around your head, silly.
Is that is that an
Shit.
electromagnetic wave?
Wait a minute, wait, I'm trying to
Firmament
catch
in
it.
my head. Is it? Are you talking about
Excuse me, wait.
the helix, the crown? Are you talking about the Christ,
Oh, oh,
the
the
penile
universe is
pituitary?
funny as shit. All right, what were
The,
you saying? What was that? What did you say after what I said, bro? You
are you
have to
talking?
excuse me.
Are you talking about the Christ, the pituitary, and the land of honey and
I,
milk?
I'm talking. What if you want to describe it as that? You know, there are many names for it, but what I'm talking about is your true essence. I mean, you can call it whatever you like, whatever you feel comfortable with describing it as. But I want you to know that it's not separate from the totality.
Brother, give me a definition of totality.
Everything is everything.
Is there duality?
If you want to see it, there are some people who need to see the duality in order to understand something a tad better.
So is that outside of the universe, the duality?
There is nothing outside of the universe. It's
Mm.
all the universe.
Do you are you familiar with Darius J. Wright?
Familiar with whom?
Darius J. Wright.
No, I'm not. I don't get out much.
He does interviews. No, he does interviews on YouTube. He doesn't get out either. Actually, I think he stays in the forest. Might be a caveman. Do you know? He does documentaries. Just look him up.
I may. You know, at this point right now, I don't feel led to. But you know, if you say it a couple more times, I may. What does he talk about?
Spirituality.
Oh, okay. Well,
But,
no wonder I don't feel led to. Look, I don't
I
have to
mean,
listen to other people talk about spirituality in order for me to get in contact with mine. I just have to listen to the spirit. Like, to be real with you, the only reason why I do this, I don't do this for people to get in contact with spirituality. You already are spirit. You already are in contact with it, you know. And I do this so I can feel better about the world that I'm living in. So it's kind of like me giving change out to homeless men,
brother,
you know. Like,
brother,
this is what
you're
I'm
right, but
doing.
I think there's
Go
so
ahead.
much more to it than that. I think there was a big lie told. I think there's a big lie told to humanity.
Absolutely, there is. Absolutely, there is. And see, but it's that lie is coming to the surface now. So it's no longer a lie. In fact, it's something that you know.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? And are we going to continue to stand on the lie or stand on what we know?
You have to wake up,
Absolutely.
brother. I
Anything else you
encourage.
want to talk about, New Day?
Um, you know, this might be completely left field, so I'm gonna ask it real quick before I leave. Do you think the maps are real? Do you think the maps we have today are accurate?
The only accurate map is the one that lies within your soul.
Hmm. Facts. All right, have a good one. Please, I encourage you to look up Darius J. Peace be upon you.
Peace, bro. Facts. Let's get to the next. Legate Lanius. Am I saying that right?
You said it completely right, brother.
Did I say it right, brother?
Yes, you did.
Hey, man, I get 2 points, man. I get 2 points for that, man. Put on the scoreboard. No,
Now
I'm
you
playing. Hey, but what's good with you, my beautiful brother? How are you? Welcome to Godtalk. How are you?
like what exactly is God talk?
God talk is where we only speak from the mind of God. We only speak with the tongue of God. We only speak with the love of God. We only speak with the hand of God. And we only act with the actions of God.
Damn, those were some powerful ass words. I can't even lie. But I had a question for you though.
And I'll do my best, my beautiful brother. But the
How?
answer, but the
How do,
answer lies within you, not within me.
that is true. Also, I can't lie. But how do I astral project? I want to like see my own body.
Oh, you have to follow your breath.
What do you mean by
See
that?
what see what happened just then? You didn't catch what happened?
Nah.
Well, all breath, all air, all way to breathe in the body that you're in is a form of consciousness, right? And being that you follow the breath into the body, you follow your consciousness into the body. But as you breathe out, you can follow your conscious out of the body as well.
Is that like why people say it's mad fucking easy, but like it's just so hard to find? Okay.
It's not easy, nor is it hard. It's where you are that defines the bad. You see, everybody leaves their body in different ways. Everybody comes back to their body in different ways. Although it's a pattern of the entering and leaving. It's the pattern of it. But there's still many ways to do it. The same way how there are many different flowers, but all over pollinating. There are many different animals out there, but all of them are living and multiplying, and doing and living in their life in their own way. It's the same way your connection to the universe and your way of moving throughout this universe is differently suited to you. This is why when anybody try to tell you how to astral project, don't even you have to really get in contact with you. Don't listen to what others say. But this is why I tell you to follow your breath, because within your breath, that's a multitude of things. What are you doing with your breath at this point is now how you enter or exit your body. And that's all on you.
You know what? Thank you for this conversation. I have learned a lot today, but I think others deserve a chance to be up here.
All right. Well, peace to you, brother. Yo, let's get the next beautiful person up here. Ron. Yo, peace, balance, love, and light. Do you have history of substance use? I don't. Let me not go. Yo, Ron, what's good with you, brother?
Not much, serious. What's good with you?
Everything is everything, beautiful brother.
It
You know what I
always
mean?
is, isn't it? And peace
It
is
never.
peace, and joy is joy, right?
Absolutely, absolutely. So, what you want to talk about, beautiful brother?
I wanted to hear what you got to say. I come to hear
You
some of
know,
your infinite wisdom. I'm
Ron.
usually engaging. Let you engage.
Ron. I got my fish tank working and off the ground, man, and I've been buying new fishes to put inside this fish tank, and I've been sitting back watching over these fishes and giving them food and putting real plants in the tank, real things of substance that things can grow off of, creating different types of bacteria inside of the filter. That way, if I
Right,
want to spawn that off, I can create other fish tanks for my first initial fish tank. But
right.
you know what, Ron? That my first fish tank, I fucked that up, man. I killed a
Right.
couple guppies. Like I fucked it up, and because I was rushing it, because I wanted to give something to my children that
Right.
that I felt like they deserved to see as as at that age,
Right.
and me and my want did not weigh out all the factors of it. I didn't do my research, nor did I compile all the things that I need to create a habitat that fish can live in. I was just
Right.
only thinking about the joy part of it, and in my joy I ended up taking the life out of two organisms.
Right.
Now Now, Ron, I felt terrible, brother. I felt terrible because in that moment I realized that it's not always about giving my children joy. It's about what's doing right for the world to be in balance.
Exactly.
And in that, I took the time. I got the tank right. I let it run for like a week. And then I dropped a couple fish in there, and I dropped a couple more. I know, phone. I'm getting to it, phone. Your phone's like, get to the fucking.
We
But
fine.
I
We
dropped,
great.
and now I have like 4 or 5 different species of fish, and I just feel great because being able to see where I failed and where I can grow.
There you
That
go.
that way life can always be in abundance. And even though if I had got caught up in my failure, I would have put that fish tank up on a cabinet and be like, let's do something else.
Right.
Not
Wow.
even knowing where I failed. You
Keep
know?
going. I'm getting a lot out of that. I'm getting a lot of nuggets out of that. Keep going.
But it's all about being in the moment and
Yes.
accepting
And learning.
accepting all components of the moment,
Yes.
you know.
You
But
know
that's
what I
all I
saw
got
out
for
of
you,
all
Ron.
that? You know what
What's
all I saw out of that?
what's up, brother?
The same things we talked about before. It always keeps leading back to that, doesn't it? Through death do we receive rebirth and life.
Absolutely.
Many cannot appreciate they can't appreciate the corruption, their own corruption, or embrace their corruption to see the life or the rebirth that comes out of that corruption. You have to be
Absolutely.
able to see
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a dance. It's a fine dance, brother.
And the spirit is always leading somewhere, isn't it? Have you ever noticed how that when sickness comes into the body, how the DNA and the white blood cells and all these different things, the chromosomes, all these, they begin to they're messengers within our body, and they begin to go out and minister to that which needs to be reconstructed.
Ooh, you better talk it.
Can I tell
You
you, can I tell
better
you, even shit, dung is useful for something.
something.
It's always usable for something. I run into a guy years ago, and we was doing a ministry thing about a 2-day thing. Me and that brother was down in South Georgia. It was on the ministry of dung and the very importance of dung. How that, we were in the spirit while we was on the porcelain John, releasing those traditions and doctrines, that waste which we've held on to for so many years. Can I tell you the greatest thing that ever happened to me was the moment I had a release of my bowels. Now, I'm not talking in a physical sense. I'm speaking on a deep level because I had to be able to flush the residue. Here's what I'm going to say. There's nothing wrong with truth in all things we learned was not false. Now, we've heard those things were false, but let's look at that in a different perspective. It was also a truth, but many of us held that truth within our bowels and it clogged us up. To keep us out of the flow of our godhood and out of our spirituality, we had to have a spiritual enema, a cleansing.
That's some good
There
shit.
is a cleansing taking place right now, my brother.
And that's some good shit also.
And spirit is releasing that shit. Because if you can't release that out your colon, you ain't going to be very clean, are you? And it's going to cause bacteria. It's going to cause death like your fish.
Absolutely.
You have to have that. No wonder why. See, that's another thing about fish tanks.
It's the poles. It's the poles. It's no different. It's the poles.
Right. I guess you learned the hard way when you got you an aquarium. There's even certain fish that have to
be with
move around fish. On the bottom. On the bottom, they clean the tank.
Oh yeah, I got shrimps and Corybanas for that, and I'm gonna go get an algae cleaner and some snails.
Clean that algae because if you don't, you're gonna have a mess.
Absolutely.
Ooh, the bowels are the same way, ain't they? Just like the liver, the reins. When he talks about the reins. Yeah. What's he talking about? He's talking about that which is inward.
Right.
Why do we think everything's on the outside? It's never been on the outside. The enemy's never even been on the outside. Everything's been on the inside. But the poison is the poison that we allowed to partake in our bodies. In other words, when you get a truth, let that thing pass through you like it's supposed to do. Digest that word. Move on from it. So many of us, we get stuck in a rut. We get stuck in a certain kind of foods that we eat spiritually is the same way natural. There's certain foods that we can't eat because it affects parts of our body and causes the body not to work right and function right. Well, the same way in our spiritual food.
Absolutely.
Well, I thought I'd share that. See, you got me clicked on the right way, but we ended up talking about shit tonight. Done.
And it be like that sometimes, shit.
Yeah, exactly. And you know what the Chinese do, right? And we go be eating rice. We don't realize we eating shit patties.
That's it. See?
Because they dump their shit, human waste on the food, the rice that we eat. But many don't know that, did they?
But see, that's every organism does that.
Yes.
Every organism
does that. Everybody does that too.
Everybody does that. And no one understands this. Like I had a guy get on here and tell me, got on here and told me, oh, shit ain't God. I said, absolutely, shit is God. So you're the poo-poo God. I said, absolutely, I am. And then he proceeded to try to make fun of me. But he didn't understand the importance of a good shit.
Exactly. That's because he's bound up by his own tradition and doctrine.
Absolutely.
Or his own religiosity. There's
Yeah.
nothing wrong with a belief as long as you pass through it.
Absolutely.
Ooh.
Hey, Ron. I love you, brother. Thank you so much.
Good conversation as always.
Even
though it went off into dung, that's okay. But we had to give some people something to think about.
Hey, they ain't nothing but a little fertilizer. Ain't no little bit of fertilizer.
Hey, man, look, let me tell you something. Even dung is good for something, right?
I'm telling you.
What good's coming out? Hey, what good would come out of these talk things, out of TikTok? Yeah. Remember how in the Bible it said that, I know I like to quote the Bible a lot, where he said, what good come out of Galilee? Well, what good come out of TikTok? Uh-oh.
Oh, exactly.
There's a few good things coming out of here.
Yo, you better talk it. Yo, hey, Ron.
We talking some shit now.
Yo, you giving them too much, brother. Hey, I love you, brother.
Hey,
Till next time.
I love that shit, man. Don't you?
Yeah, man, I stay with it, brother.
Hey, I missed a
I stay
turd.
with the shits.
I
I
did
stay
too.
with the shits.
I know. But I eat the right kind of
Regular.
shit. I like greens. I like eating algae and greens where I can see it
Regular.
real
You
good.
gotta get them you gotta get that fiber in. That fiber
Yeah,
helping
you do. Yeah, oh yeah, but eat them greens too, them good collard greens, man.
yeah.
That
Yeah.
shit you
But
to death, baby.
Ron, you stinking the place up now, Ron. Let me
I
let you
know,
go,
but
brother.
I'm stinging it up with truth.
I know, and it's cool beans. You get it? You see what I did just there?
Oh, now we're talking about stinking on a different level now. Beans will stink you up.
Right. I gotta let you go, bro.
I
Peace to
know,
you.
man. Hey, good talking to you, man.
Always, brother.
Have
Peace.
a blessed evening.
Oh, damn. Ron. He's so silly. Oh, my beautiful sister. My beautiful sister. Oh, Blue Heart. What's good with you?
Hey, Sirius, how are you doing?
Everything is everything. How are you?
I'm good. I tried to talk to my dad today, and you said, like, I've brought it up to you before, and you told me don't listen to him. And I'm like, I was trying to talk to him about the stuff that you talk about how, like, everything is everything, and he's very Christian. And, I don't know, like, I feel like God, he put my dad in my life for a reason, and I'm trying to figure out the best way to be influenced. Like I catch myself being influenced by him, and I just don't know if I don't know if that's something that I don't know if the lesson is to not be influenced or to be more aware, maybe.
The
I'm
lesson
not
is to be you.
to be
Your
me.
lesson isn't the lesson isn't your dad. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Yeah,
The
it's
lesson
just to be
is you.
me.
The matter of fact, your dad's lesson is you. You're the one that's supposed to come. Uh, how can I say? Use your dad as what has been already learned,
Mhm.
and to go further from what has already been learned.
So that's what I wanted to talk to you about is that I can go really, really, really far with what I learn, and I to the point where it like scares my family because they're like, Isabella, this isn't, you have to be a civilized, person in society, and they just want and so it's like I'm like I'm
As
they
if you aren't civilized, right?
I know. Well, I say things like you're God, everything is God, and it sounds too ungrounded for them. And I'm like, to me that's the most grounded thing, the way that you can think, to love each other as you love yourself and to treat everything like it's you. Like that's to me that's a very grounding thing. Um but they make
Well,
me
sister
feel like I'm crazy.
and sister, this is when you no longer talk about it, but you just walk about it.
Just walk about it.
Yeah. What's the point of even talking anyway, if they're not understanding your language? If someone
Yeah.
didn't understand your language, wouldn't you start to do hand signals or point to something or make an action?
Mhm. So,
What's Go ahead.
well, my biggest thing with the whole walking thing is like I don't have to, whenever I walk, I don't have to think of how to walk. And with being God and being the creator of my reality, I keep thinking that I have to have divine thoughts, and what I'm and I keep telling myself, no, just don't think. But then my family calls me and they're like, so what are your plans? And what are your thoughts on this? They ask me about my thoughts, and I'm like, I'm trying not to think. And I don't know. I think I'm being too black and white.
you know what's the you know what's the good thing when what I do when people ask me what are my plans?
What?
I say whatever you got planned. Because obviously, you called me with something in mind,
Yeah. Yeah.
and
But why would
that
you want to do what they do? What if,
it's see from there, it's my choice if I want to or not.
yeah.
You
Yeah.
know what I mean? Like if they say, "Oh yeah, I'm going to go bowling." All right, well, I'd rather not go bowling. Well, have fun with that. It doesn't even matter what I was thinking at that point. They'd be like, "Damn, he don't want to do. He ain't trying to go bowling. I was trying to go bowling. No, I ain't trying to go bowling."
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I do know what you mean. One thing, you know the word internalization.
Yes.
So I can do that to the point where I've been told like it's not healthy, the amount that I can do that. And so like you talk about awareness a lot, and it's like I'm doing it without even being aware of it. And I'm trying to figure out how, like, I've prayed about it, like with certain things that, what do you
If you're
think?
if you're
Go ahead.
finding yourself in spaces where you're internalizing it, then
Hmm.
there is something there that a lesson in there.
In the
There's
space.
something, yes, in that space of you internalizing. It's a reason why you did. You wouldn't have took it in if there wasn't.
So it's not a bad thing that I do that. It's more of like what I do whenever that happens, I have to figure out, like,
What does it mean? What is the
right.
realization? What is the growth?
Mm. Mm-hmm.
There's
Yeah.
nothing wrong with taking something in if you're going to if you're going to do something with when I was young, my auntie used to have us stop by trash piles, and she'd go peeking through the trash piles. Other people thought it was trash, so they threw it out. But my auntie would take that thing in and pearl it up real nice, and it'd be the centerpiece of whatever room she put it in.
Oh, I love that. I've done that before. I had the very thing that have my phone on right now, I got from the dumpster across the street.
So why not do the same thing with your pain? Take from the beauty of your pain, of what you would perceive to be the trash of your spirit.
Mm.
You would take it physically off the curb, but you won't take it from yourself.
Where do you, so how do you, make it look nice?
The same way you make everything look nice, with love, silly.
With love and, okay, so
And,
I
and
make
patience.
with love. Yeah.
You know,
Patience is,
when any good artist before they get a piece of art or like a block of something, like a block of wood, they ask them, "What are you?" And then they just chip away at it, and then that thing reveals itself.
well,
They
that's
start
cool.
to paint with their brush, and that painting reveals itself.
Mm-hmm.
The same way that you do with that rough draft of emotions that you have. Go
Mm-hmm.
through it and let it reveal itself.
Okay. Yeah. How do you know when to just let it come to you and when to do research? Because you were talking about research with the
When
other
you're
person.
when you're led to go back in the past,
Okay.
it's just that simple, sis.
When you're led to
When
go in
you
the
when you
past?
yes, when you're led to go back in the past. Like we don't think about you thinking about your third grade boyfriend, or the interaction with your first, as research on yourself, a history report. But it is.
Mm-hmm.
But you do that at certain moments to gain some type of clarity of where you are now.
Mm. So when you do research, are you saying that you just close your eyes and you go within yourself? You're not talking about going to the computer and researching something?
Sister, even when my eyes is open, it's still closed.
Yeah.
We have to realize that all thoughts come to us.
From within.
I continue to tell people I don't meditate. You ask me if yo, serious, you got a set time where you meditate? Nope. Cause my whole life is meditation.
Yeah, exactly.
So if I feel led to do something, if something tells me, look up the war of this right here and what was the reason for it and why does that correlate to what's going on now? Because it always does.
Mm.
Then that's what I do. I don't just sit back with it and then I get all the facts about it. Everything that I can get. And then after that, I decipher why did I want this? What was it about? Why does it correlate to the with who I am? Then
Mm-hmm.
after that, I don't keep it as some type of trophy on my shelf of the knowledge I have. I just take the lesson from it because
Mm-hmm.
that's what it always is. The same way you would go back in the past to think about why my mama spanked me for putting something in my mouth when I had no business putting it in my mouth.
Mm-hmm. Well, you know how the yin and the yang thing, the I keep thinking of yin and yang and how I need to be balanced, but um I keep wishing that I could just be instead of focusing on being balanced. I just want to be. And
You shouldn't
I
have
don't
to focus on being. You should just be.
exactly just be. Yeah, so I don't really like whenever I feel off, some like my first thought is, "Oh, you're out of balance." But I think instead of thinking that way, if I feel off or whatever, it could be I could see it as okay, well, this is serving a purpose. Is that like a wiser way to view your thoughts, like not as a or your
Not
feelings?
this is not this is serving a purpose because this will allow you to lay up in a dirty room.
Yeah. Yeah. So, what would you, if you have a feeling that a feeling of being off, what would your first thought be?
My first thought would be why,
Okay.
who, what, when, where,
Okay.
and most of all, what is the reason for it? Like what is the purpose? Because there's nothing that happens without purpose.
Yeah.
And if I'm feeling off, then there's a reason why I feel off. And it's okay that I feel off. But what's not okay is that I allow myself to be stuck there and
Hmm.
not figure out why I'm there.
Hmm. Yeah. I think
And that's just for me. That's for
no,
me.
I hear what you're saying and I agree with what you're saying and I've just been there's I don't know. I've been trying to figure out who I am, and I keep thinking, oh, I know who I am. And then I'll have a conversation with someone who's more, more domineering or more confident, maybe, which
Mhm.
it could be false confidence. But I keep allowing, I keep allowing their ego to freaking overpower my own
uh,
you know what I'm saying?
uh, yeah, like when somebody walks up to you and you're like, hey, how you doing? You're like, fine, how are you? And you like, I don't even say hi like that. Like, and it, and that's a thing. There's something about the lake only being able to show show the reflections of what's around it. That shows a stillness in you. And it's not so much as your um how can I say it, being overshadowed or overpowered by an energy. Because I'm pretty sure if it was time for your energy to show up in full abundance, it would show up.
Mm,
But at this moment in time, you have no problem with being a reflection of what seems pleasant to you.
mhm.
You know what I mean?
Yes. Oh my gosh. I wish I had. Well, you record this, so I'm gonna I need to write that
I'll put
down.
it on YouTube. I'll put it on YouTube.
All right.
I put it on YouTube.
I appreciate you, Sirius. You're so full of wisdom, and everybody. I'm so grateful that you have this platform. I really do.
Sis, I do it for you.
Yeah. Well, I send your family and you all the love and all of the peace and balance and love and light. I appreciate you.
Thank you. I receive it. I receive it. Thank you. Peace to you. Till next time, right, sis?
Till next time. Have a good night.
All right, absolutely. Yo, that was our beautiful sister, Blue Heart. She's amazing. She's amazing. Yo, we have to realize that you don't have to feel pressured by the world around you to be something. Whatever, and also you don't have to be pressured by yourself to be something. You know, like when you get in those moments, you're like, I should have been more. And you probably could have been more. But that just goes to show you that in that next situation, when it comes around, just be that more. If you have a yearning to be that, but do it off of your own validation. And that real validation, the real shit, will be rewarded. And that fake shit will be rewarded as well. But not in the way you're thinking, like. Because all actions have a reward, right? Right? our our words, I'm sorry. Our words are our aura. Man, you kind of did a tongue twister to us, Shakur. Our words are our aura. If I think what you're saying, words are words are simply the way you express yourself, and sometimes you don't have enough words to express yourself. So words can be very clumsy. So I wouldn't say words are our aura. I would just say words are the paintbrush that we use to paint the picture of our aura. And sometimes, even if you grow up in the wrong places, you don't have the money to buy the paintbrushes you need to paint that beautiful picture that's in your mind. Sometimes you may grow up and have all the paintbrushes in the world and still may not know how to paint the words of your mind. So words aren't the aura. Words are just the way that you express your aura. Words are just tools, like a hammer or a nail, to hold something together, put something together. Nothing more. It's no different than a polypeptide in your body. No different. Your truth is written on the tablet of your heart. Absolutely. He is using frequency and tone and try to convince you of what he is speaking. He is manipulating. I'm not manipulating anyone, sister. I promise you, my beloved sister, I'm not manipulating anyone. I'm giving you. The last sister that was up here, I gave her nothing but herself. So if you feel like this is a manipulation, then you're probably manipulating yourself, my beautiful sister. I have not a lying bone in my body, and I pride myself on that. I pride myself on my integrity of spirit, that I can get up here and tell not one lie. What's the point in that anyway? What's the point in that anyway? The frequency causes a reaction in the brain to pay closer attention and retain its psychology. Well, sister, that's That's an orange. You just described an orange. Excuse me for having a frequency of love. And if that is something to be what did you say? Retained, then let it be retained. You should be as well. You should be as well, my beautiful, beautiful brother. And you don't have to be good at something to do it. No, you don't. You're lagging. I've heard maybe 3 words of what you just said, cutting in and out. Oh man, am I live doing that again? Oh man. Oh. Hold on. Hold on, y'all. Hold up. Hold on, y'all. We fixing it. We fixing it. We fixing it. Hold up. All right. All right. We better. We back in effect. Question. What do you consider yourself? Everything. 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 That is also what you're doing in opposite effect. I don't know what you mean, Ghost Girl. Why do people put on 432 frequencies calming playlist? Sis, listen. I myself am a frequency the same way you are a frequency. The same way everything else around us is giving off a frequency. Now, if I give off a frequency that people like or they appeal to or breaks through certain frequencies or anything like that, then let me be that. I'm not here to tell you about what you're doing. I'm here to accept you. Why can't you love me for where I am? The same way I love you for where you are. I'm not on here lying to people. I'm not on here giving people false hope. I'm not on here tearing nobody down. I'm on here speaking life to people. And if speaking life to people is weird and chaotic to you, then peace to you. May you find a space where you can enjoy whatever type of vibration you're trying to put on me. But this ain't that, sister. It ain't that. UFC Luke Yo, peace, balance, love, and light.
Yo, man, I'm a child, so I'm not sure you might
I
not
love
want.
you. I love you, UFC Luke. I love you, my young, beautiful child. My young, beautiful God. I love you. Next time, get your mama first.
Peace, God.
Yo, Tristan Tripp.
Peace, God. I was just gonna ask.
Peace. What's good with you, God?
Whenever I tune,
What's good with you, God?
whenever I tune in, I don't know if it's just me, but I always hear like a high pitch like ringing in the background. I don't know if it's just me or not. I don't know if there's something you was doing or a mic situation.
It's bro, I promise you I don't know what it is, bro. It's just something that it does, bro. Like I'm not doing anything.
Got you.
Nothing
Yeah.
special.
Okay. Well, yeah. I'm here to add to any conversation topic. I remember coming from indoctrination, being the drummer of the church, to realizing, my power, my true power, who I am. So I feel like I'm in a boat similar. Is trying to tell people and have people reach their full potential as well.
Absolutely. It's a thing about this walk, we all we can do is be the example,
Right.
And however people get to their potential is the way they're going to get to it. It's going to happen with or without you. Maybe
Definitely.
more with you, but it's still going to happen
Absolutely.
because it
Same.
always happens.
Flying different paths.
Yeah, and we always find our way back to center.
Right. Shame.
You know what I mean? So if I wouldn't describe your path as being something about setting people free, I would more or less describe your path the same way Jesus said, "I am the way, the truth, and the life."
I like that.
You see why he said it the way he said it?
So I'll take it as leading by example.
Absolutely.
Walk in the light that you're preaching. Walk in the path that you proclaim.
Absolutely. Because it's always been about that higher, that perceived to be higher light within you.
Absolutely.
And if it's about that, ain't boastful. It's just loving. It ain't vengeful. It ain't something that like that type of love is a father getting ready to watch his child fall off a bed and lets the child fall off the bed to learn their lesson and then picks the child up and coddles them and like, see, this is why I told you to sit down the first couple times.
Right.
And that's what it's about. And if we're going to live like that, let's live like that. Let's live like allow the space for our brothers and sisters to fall on their own sword that they created for themselves. Just so when they come back to us and be like, you told me not to, please help me. You could be like, this is the way. This is the truth. And this is the life.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean, bro?
Definitely. Giving them grace to make the same, I wouldn't even necessarily call them mistakes, but make the same trials that, similarly we've made,
Absolutely. Didn't we have fun doing it?
Right.
I mean, you gotta, even when I look back on my trials now, I laugh at it. Even when I thought those times were darkest, I laugh at them like I was so fucking stupid. Like I was silly. To even think that was the end all be all or the death of me or the hubris of me. Like to even think. Now I realize it was just all a part of the game that I was playing to get to get to that higher sense of self. And it just so happens I was fortunate enough to have the eyes to see the game that I was playing with myself. But there are some people who aren't favored with those eyes just yet, although they will be. We all will be.
Right. I want
But
to tell you
yo,
about
anything else you want to talk about? Go ahead, bro.
experience I had the other day in the
For sure.
Asheville. So my daughter, she's 4. She wanted to sleep in her tent that I made for her before bedtime, like 2-3 hours before bedtime. She was like, "Dad, I want to sleep in the tent instead of in the bed or whatever." So I was like, at first I was like, I was gonna say no, but then I said, why not? Let her sleep in the tent. So I let her sleep in the tent. This was during daylight savings, quote unquote daylight savings time. So I go to sleep, and what I've had for the past 2 years is every dream that I've had have been so realistic that it's hard for me to decipher the reality in the dream until I wake up, essentially. So
Mm.
I don't have those dreams where, when you're growing up as a kid, you can't really control your movements as much as you would like to. You know what I mean? I don't have those dreams anymore. I'm very in control, lucid when I'm dreaming. It's just I haven't had that same mental strength, I would say, as like, in this moment you can imagine anything and dive into wherever you want to go, right? You
Right.
can dive into any topic or feeling that you previously experienced. So I've been trying and attempting to do that when I'm dreaming. And this dream was so crazy because as soon as I went to sleep, I woke up in my dream, basically. So it seemed so real. And then my daughter wasn't in the bed, she was in a tent, but in the dream, the tent was outside. And it was like it wasn't really an ideal situation. I had fell asleep essentially while she was outside by herself. So I like kind of panicked. I kind of panicked and I went out there and I was like, you know, come inside basically. And she was sleeping, so I had to wake her up, like, come inside. And my daughter doesn't do this in real life, but in the dream, she was so combative. She was no, 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 no. Like, just kept doing it to the point where it was an irritation. And as soon as I woke up, I realized that was my sign to realize it was a dream because she wouldn't have done that in real life, you know?
Wow. You know what it was? Because your first mom was arguing with you about letting her sleep in that goddamn tent.
Right?
The first mom, like, nah, man, you gonna get up? We ain't camping nowhere. Because that's what But I think that's the beautiful thing about it, that we as fathers be are just that protective over our children, even in our dreams. Like, just that protective and stern, even when our children are rising up against us, and we know that they're just rising up against us in a way that's not even becoming of them. They just want something that they really want.
Right.
And it's good to let a child be a child. I let my children, within range, yell and jump and scream and throw things within range, within respect. When you're in the space to do that, that's when you do it. And I try not to take that from them. And it's I'm trying to find my way back to being a child. Why would I let a child not be a child?
Right. Right.
You know?
Because when
But
we were
yo,
a child, we were so free.
absolutely. Right. And so next time you get in that tent with her.
Right. Right. I feel like in both hands, I look at it from both perspectives. I just know that that's another sign for me to look out for next time. You know what I mean? Like, knowing I
Yeah.
wouldn't do that in real life,
Yeah.
realizing that was, realizing that was a sign to know that this is another reality, a different dream.
Yeah.
Because I'm trying to wake up. It's like I know I've had dreams before where I've said I've seen what's about to happen next in another dream, and it's like not making that conscious switch to say this is a dream. Like, this whole thing is a dream. You know what I mean? Like,
Bro, it's just the frequency of the life you want to live, or the life that you fear to see. And sometimes those nightmares, your conscious mind will turn those nightmares into front line screenplays in your mind when you go to sleep.
Mm.
You know,
Wow.
especially if they're strong enough, like the fact of your daughter sleeping unattended, you know, in a tent outside, make you wake up in your dream and run outside. When she
Right.
in when she in the house in the tent,
Exactly.
cozy.
Exactly.
But it's, you know, the subconscious mind, bro, or the superconscious mind, like, as I like to say, bro, is full with filled with many lessons for self. But
Yeah.
facts. Hey Tristan, yo, let me let you go and get to the next beautiful person, bro. Peace to you.
Peace, God. Yeah.
Yeah, till next time, God. Yo, that was our beautiful brother, God, Tristan. Yo, get in that tent with that baby. Damn right, I'd have been in that tent with that baby. Yo, oh, my sister hasn't came back in a minute. I'm glad to have her back. What's up, Atlanta? What's good with you? My beautiful sister, how are you?
Oh well. How are you? It's good to pop up when I can onto your live. This is good.
Absolutely. Everything is
Yeah.
everything, sis.
I've never been live on here, but I just felt it's past my bedtime, but I wanted to say something, so I said let me do it. Um I just want to say that what I've realized is that as I'm, going through life and as a I don't call it an empty nester, I call it a free bird because I don't like the connotation of an empty nester. I've raised my kids and I'm, in the dating world and I'm finding it that people want me to merge with them, right? And I've come to the realization that I want to let people be where they are, right? Like I don't really want I want people to align with me as opposed to me having to compromise myself to be with someone. And I find myself like explaining this to people and actually, I don't know if it's a ministry or what, but I feel like it is. Like, I feel like I'm more of a counselor because I'm, freeing people to be who they are. And I think it's important that when we are in relationships, that we allow people to be who they are because we have free will, right? That's your God given right is free will. So if you, and this is, this is far fetched, but if you want to come and incarnate into this life and be a crackhead, then I respect that as well, right? Maybe you aren't because you have an infinite time to get it right. In my eyes, when I see someone on hard times, or I don't look at it like that. So I find it hard to connect with others who have that same mindset. Um, they're very judgmental. It's like that person shouldn't do this. Well, why? Right? That crackhead might look at me and be like, "Why you go to work every day?" And judge me. So I don't know. Right? I want people to be who they are. I know we are infinite beings. We are everything. We are, and so my day to day, because I'm a teacher, so I just let people be, and I'm just so easy. I flow in, I flow out, I go where and I just want to align with people who align with me. And that seems simple, but it's so hard.
It,
It's so hard. People can't connect, and I'm just like, and that's fine too. Now, because I can rock with it by myself, but
you know
I
why?
would love.
Because people change temperature so much. You know, people are so disingenuous. You know,
Well, I know, but
it's
why?
almost like because people are more worried about what you think about them versus what they think about themselves.
And I feel that deeply. But I want people to be free around me. And I don't know how I'm supposed to connect with somebody on that level other than when access and everybody's journey is not to be the higher self. I want that too. So when I'm around another being, I'm an empath, so I have to ascertain learning. Are you just complacent? Are you in the third? Are you just chilling in 3D, three-dimensional? Are you trying to reach your higher self? So I have to see where they're at. Now, I don't meet people where they are. I'm not going to meet you. I'm going to go down to your level at all. I can see where you at and keep moving, right? Or now, because I've been hurt that way. Meet people where they are, and then you get hurt. Like, I'm not doing that. Now, I can bring you up to where I'm at, but I think I moved past meeting people where they are. I'm a teacher, so I meet more people where they are than I need to. I do
Well,
my fair
see,
share. So
if you ever, I'm pretty sure you've been dating before, right?
no, it's nobody really
Yeah.
that is in the mindset. It's
But,
hard. Like,
but,
I've been trying to date.
but
Everybody want me to be this. They want me to
hey,
have straight hair, but I'm
my
African
sister,
American.
real quick, you got me on Bluetooth?
No,
That's like an echo going.
it's an echo.
Yeah, it's like an echo of some sort.
Yeah, I don't know, but I just wanted to connect.
Can
I
you,
probably
no,
will.
no, 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 don't get off because this is a really good conversation. I want to dive into this right here. Now, they just gonna have to deal with the echo. Can you understand me?
Yes.
All right. You ever? All right. So, have you ever been on a date? You're a dating woman. I'm pretty sure you know. Or have been on dates. You've been on those dates
Yes.
where you may not know about the date, so you bring your own money. You say, "I'm gonna drive myself so I can get myself back home. I'm gonna bring my
No,
own
we don't
money."
get that far. So understand that we don't get that far. Most guys hit me up and be like, "You're beautiful. Let's go
Well,
out for
how about
drinks." I don't drink.
how about this? How about this? How about this? How about this? Let's go a different route. You've been out
Okay.
with friends, and your friends have been like, let's go get some eating." You're like, "Well, I'm gonna drive my own
Uh
self
huh.
out there. I'm gonna pay for my own food." That's no different from you meeting someone where they're at spiritually.
Right. But what I'm finding is that when I don't want to say lower my standards. I'm going to say vibration. Everything is vibration. And it's not even about standards. It's not even about a price tag. It's not even about Chick-fil-A or Star. It ain't about that. It's your mindset and what is your vibration? What is your frequency? At this point, I can feel people's frequency. And if you come at me with some low vibrational date, you want to, even friends, family in this category, you want to go out for drinks. I don't drink. So why don't you know that about me? And why is that even a conversation? So we don't really know
Oh,
each other.
and I'm so sorry I brought that part up about drinking because it seems like you ain't fucking with that at all. But
Mm-mm.
uh, but
No.
but what I'm primarily talking about here, sis, is not being afraid to meet people where they are.
I would if it I feel like it's a abyss. When I meet people where they are, it's usually a self-serving desire, low frequency. They want to meet some kind of fantasy or physical need of their own. And
And
that is
and
not what I'm
and
about. I could do that now. I can smash like
and you
that.
can leave them there. And you can leave.
Like, come
No, what
on.
I'm saying is you can leave them there. You can leave them there, or you can show them back to a higher realm of being. See, I'm not telling. All I'm saying is, sister, when you meet people where they are, this is kind of say you don't really know somebody until you've been to their house to see how they living, and even then you
Right.
really don't. But at least you got a sense of them. But and you would have to go to their house to see how they're living. You know what I mean? And and I say that to say this, like I'm not telling you to live in that house, nor am I telling you to accept the house. Hell, you may never ever go back to that house. But while you're in that house, you could be like, damn, cousin, you could at least sweep up in this motherfucker, or you know, you know what I mean? Because
Yeah.
what good is your higher perspective if you're not truly sharing it with your brothers and sisters? If you feel like you don't have the time for them, or you can't bring them to a spacing of a higher perspective of self.
I think and I am. My whole mentality is of service. So I love to be of service. And I'm vulnerable
And
to
being
the
of
world.
Being
Yeah.
of service means you have to spin the block to go pick up your sister or your brother.
Yeah. Well, when do I get my time to elevate my from myself? Do I have to retreat and like do I have to go, you know what I'm saying? Like isolate myself, go up to the mountains and meditate like a shaman? Like when do I get fed myself? And that's what I'm
Right
saying.
here.
Is that when I'm
Right
around
here
other
in the
people,
presence.
I feel drained and I have to recharge. That's what I'm
Because
saying.
you're looking at the situation from an energy where you're feeling drained. Not an energy where you're being fulfilled or even creating that space where you're being fulfilled.
So should I allow somebody in my space that I am pouring into, or should I allow somebody in my space who is going to pour into me? That's the question, basically.
It would be whatever you want it to be. You know, because some people just like to pour. Some people like to be poured on. And they find people who are willing to fill those type of spaces. So I ask you, what do you want? To be poured on or poured into? Or would you like a balance?
I want to balance.
Well, there you
Yep.
go.
Yeah, I want to balance.
And that now you know what you want, and now you know how to present yourself to people where there is a balance instead of you always pouring into them. And sometimes that balance means you cracking, digging into the ground to find that well to sprout out that which can be poured onto you. But that means you not living on a superficial level with people, but actually going deep or going to where they are.
Yeah, and I feel like that's my journey. I think that's my focus now. I'm really big on relationship and relating to others, but then also living in my truth and keep evolving. Because I've met people who are complacent and they don't want to evolve. To be honest, they don't want to evolve. Like they like going to the club and taking shots and they're comfortable in that setting. And I just want more. And so I realized the difference and the separation, but I feel very separated in that separation. So um so I'm trying to just still relate to people, but still understand that I still have to part ways. I still have to tell a lot of people no. It might be a Friday or
Well,
Saturday
what
night.
is what does relating mean, sister?
Relating means people on a Friday night, they're like, hey, let's go out, let's do this. And, they want to go dance and they want to do this. And it's like,
No, I mean the actual
oh,
word relating.
relate. Um, so relate to me means, maybe I don't know what that is. I don't know what that is. I don't know what is relate. I guess just, sharing a space with somebody who is maybe like-minded.
Mm.
Because I've been there, I've been there, done that. I don't want to go backward. I want to just kind of relate to people who are on a different journey. Maybe they're vegan. Maybe what they put into their body is higher than that. Like
Well, see right here in this moment. What if I told you that you relate to a fly?
I can relate to a fly. I feel more related to a fly than humans. That's sad.
Look,
Like I
all
understand
right,
the fly.
I gotta go. I gotta go deeper. Then, what if I told you you relate to shit?
I can feel related to that more than people out here with
But
BBL.
you can't feel related to somebody who has a different mindset from you. Like this, you
No,
blowing my
because
mind
you
right
know
now.
why? Wait, let me tell you why. Hold on. Can I explain why? And I love that you just put me in this. I can relate to a. Let me tell you why I can relate to a fly. A
I'm listening.
fly. Okay, I can relate to a plant. I can relate to an ant because for some reason these things that you just mentioned are natural, right? The
And they're
ant,
doing what they're supposed to
they're
do.
doing right. Humans have gone off the course, right? They getting BBL, like they off charts. I cannot relate to that. Now I can relate to this plant that I'm looking at right here. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like nature, I can relate to. Like, yeah, shit, I can relate to because that's natural. Yeah, you talking about natural things? Yeah, we in there. But unnatural things, I have a hard time connecting with. And I'm running into a lot of people, a lot of women. I just got a BBL. I'm in Atlanta. I got a BBL. I just got this. I'm like, okay, we ain't got nothing else to discuss. Because I'm like, okay, so it's the
Well,
unnatural that I have a hard time connecting with.
so now, what if I bring you to a space where I tell you that it's all natural, that everything is natural?
You
What if I
telling
tell
me a
you that?
BBL is natural? I don't know.
Yes, yes.
Okay. Well, I'm having a
You
hard time.
hold on. Let me bring you to that space why I say it's all natural, right? Because we living in a world where women have got in their mind that what is a woman is within her shape. So now it's natural for a woman who feels like she's lacking in shape to go get a BBL. Although it may not be naturally grown from her body, it is a natural thought for a woman to dislike her body. Now, me realizing that is a natural thought, now I can go and come and combat that natural thought with a more pure, what I wouldn't even call it a pure natural thought, but a more aligned natural thought, especially aligned with the oneness in who she is. Being that now I can see why she got it in the first place,
Well, what
which
about,
is just as natural. It's
okay.
natural for a woman to feel like her body isn't up to par, especially when the world is making her seem like she isn't.
Right. And that's where I have a, yeah, and I understand you completely. The curvature of a woman's body, I understand to gravitate toward that. But like, in my profile, my hair is straight, but I'm black. My hair is curly. So when somebody sees me in my natural state, they're like, oh, your hair is not done. So I want somebody that is going to be attracted to me naturally. And I think part of this society, like somebody just put society's programming, and I'm in my growth and in my evolution, I'm dissociating from that. And I'm finding that a lot of the dating pool gets smaller. Like, even more so because I desire that. So, and I'm probably
The
speaking for a
dating,
lot of them. Yeah,
you know why the
yeah,
dating pool is getting smaller, sister?
yeah.
It's because no, seriously, you laugh. That means you
I
already
mean,
know why.
yeah, I already know. I think I already know what you're gonna say. Yeah,
Because you've outgrown the skin you're in.
yeah, I have. I have. It's all good, and
You've
I'm
out
fine with that too.
and no, and it's okay for you to be fine with it. But sis, you're in that skin. And you can get a cut on that skin. You know that, right?
I
And
can get a
even though
what?
you've outgrown it, you still feel that cut.
What cut?
I said you can get a cut on your skin, and even though you feel like you've
Oh,
outgrown your
I see
skin,
what you're
you
saying.
still feel that cut.
Yeah.
So that goes to say that, sis, live where you are, live where you're in, and accept where you are, and that way you can accept others where they are. Because of course, you're not gonna find someone to match your frequency when you've surpassed the frequency and realm that you're on. You know what I mean?
Yeah. 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 I get that, and that's where I am right now, and I'm okay with it.
Oh, there you go.
I am. I
Well,
am. I am.
well, all right. So now I want to know how many cats you plan on having.
No, I'm a plant mom. I bought like
Oh,
10
you
different.
got plants.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. As
Everybody
long as
holler
I'm
at her.
around the living, I never feel alone. I'm around living things, and I like right now. I don't feel alone. I'm around, like, I'm surrounded by like life, and I think that brings me, yeah, it brings me so much peace. So I don't have a dog in the fight, but I would love every now and then just have like a something that tall, dark, and smell good and all that. But it's all good.
And you can have that, sister, if you weren't.
Yeah.
so caught up in people being so out of it. I guarantee you, sister, and I promise you I'm not talking shit to you, sis. Once you make yourself available to the world to show you in a pure way, that's when it'll show it to you, but not a second sooner. But if you continue to make the world show itself to you in a way as if you're above it or you just can't connect to the human mind, then sis, it ain't gonna happen. It's not.
Okay. Okay.
I
I'm
love
gonna
you.
work
That's
on
why I
it.
tell you that.
I know you. I feel like this is in the right direction, so I'm gonna work on it. I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna
Absolutely.
be open.
And don't be so hard on yourself, nor do you be so hard on those men out there. They're still healing too, especially these men nowadays.
Oh yeah, don't I know it? I have more
And you
grace.
and you being Mother Gaia that you are, may you nurture them in their healing.
Okay, I can dig it. I can dig it. Mm-hmm. I'll keep
All right,
y'all
so
updated.
I love you. I love you, sis.
Aw, love you back. All right, you guys, spreading love. I'm out. It's past
Peace,
my
peace.
bedtime.
Yeah, that was Atlanta hair specialist staying up late to talk about why I can't get it. No, because I laugh because I used to do the same thing to myself. I used to be like, man, I ain't never find no woman to match my frequency. I'm just too much of a god for this place. Ain't you never been you woman. And then I'd sit back and play Etta James. I want a Sunday kind of love. I love to last past Saturday night. And I'd like to know if it's love to more than first sight. But as soon as I see him, I'm like, nah, you ain't gonna match my frequency. I was talking myself into love, but talking myself out of it at the same time. Ain't that a bitch? I say it all the time. Every word we use has a capacity. And if we don't understand the words we use or understand the capacity of it, then we are creating a destiny for ourselves that we are unaware or conscious of. Just saying. Every person in our life is there because we have something to learn from them. Absolutely. How did you meet your wife? Man. uh, Believe it or not, on a Facebook group. On a Facebook group, I met her. It's kind of, when you put yourself in spaces to meet that person, and to be real with you, I didn't even want to join Facebook group. Somebody sent it to me. It was like, yeah, you got to check out this group. It's a bunch of spiritual people and whatnot. I'm like, I don't need no talk, no bunch of, and lo and behold, it fell right in my lap. Bloop, bloop, or fell right in my lap. And it hit like a rushing wave, like a tsunami. It always does. Got him. uh, uh, this existence is so crazy. Our creator was on his job because it's deep and so cool. I I like when people describe it as deep. Cause me myself, I don't even think it's that deep. I don't think life is that deep at all. If you if you do think it's that deep, Just eat your dinner and go to bed. Eat your food and get some rest. Come to find out, that's all you really need. It ain't that deep. it's not that deep. It's not. It only seems deep because we like to try to make it complex, give it layers, even though it does have layers. But even Trident gum has layers. Can't you chew that up and meld all that together? Even the earth has layers, but then at some point all that melts together to become one thing. I promise you, like, I treat this earth as if I'm a cosmic giant walking past it, and I have the earth like a little marble in my fingers, and it has me. I can't let it go the same way it can't let me go. And it's just that simple. Somebody want to come up and holler at me. Lennar first. I think I'm saying that right.
Yeah, it's
Okay, so
Lenore.
Levitate. Hey, oh, peace, balance. How you doing, brother? Lennar, you there?
Yeah, oh yeah, I'm here. I'm here.
How
Yeah.
you doing, brother?
How you doing, brother?
Everything is everything. Know what I mean?
Somewhat.
Okay, okay.
You.
So what would you like to talk about, brother?
I just had a question. Nothing. No hostility. Just, but you claim to be. I mean, do you have God-like abilities, or why do you claim to be a God?
Mm, because I am, and I don't claim to be. I just am.
Okay, so are there maybe any supernatural abilities you possess? Maybe even just one of them?
Yes, thought
Okay.
is very supernatural.
Yes, thoughts to an extent could be deemed as supernatural.
Uh, hmm.
So because you have the capacity to think, would that make someone a god?
Yeah. You don't have to even have the capacity to think to make you a god. Because I tell people all the time, I try not to think. As the same way a rock who never has a thought at all, still perfect in his being, is still God.
Okay, okay, you didn't lose me, but the like, is that like a rhetorical, like the rock being a god? Is that like a real thing?
Is that a what?
Like a real thing, like a rock, like because it was created.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, the rock is God as well.
But a rock isn't. A rock is not a god because it's incapable of it's incapable of being an omnibenevolent god.
Mm. Well,
Okay.
is that the words you're using to describe God? Isn't that fun that you would even use a word to describe God? That you would throw such a tight fitting blanket on such a vast thing.
Yeah, because anything that because omnibenevolent means all loving, all caring, and etc. It means all good. Okay, anything that is not omnibenevolent, I would probably call the authorities. I would immediately call the authorities.
Oh, I thought I told you not to eat from that tree of good and evil. I'm sorry, I thought you told yourself not to eat from that tree of good and evil.
Was that rhetorical?
Telling you something. I thought I was asking you, weren't you told not to eat from such a tree to even describe something as good or evil?
Yeah, we were, but unfortunately, Eve,
Unfortunately, you still eat from the tree. You like the way it tastes. How does that good taste coming off your tongue? Better yet, how does that evil taste coming off your tongue?
you just said a God is not omnibenevolent. So if you take that terminology away, you're saying that a God has the rational capability to take anyone's life or do whatever they want. That's a dangerous person that maybe is dysfunctional. You don't agree with that?
Excuse me. If Pharaoh if Pharaoh's heart was hardened by God, then obviously if Jonas could be caught up in in the belly of a whale, if Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego could be thrown into the pits of a fire, if Jesus could be hung from a cross, surely I can see how any act could be an act of God to show me a higher perspective, a higher lesson.
Okay, that's not a bad answer. No, that's not a bad answer you gave me. That was a pretty decent one. Because you're right. Me myself believing in God. Yeah, you were right. Now, is there any like adversaries or attributes that people who are more divine or open or spiritual can do?
Is there any adversaries that someone can do? Is that what you just
Attributes.
asked me?
No, attributes. Is there any attributes? I'm sorry. Is there any like say they have the capability of maybe healing people like with just their hand, or maybe they're able to be
By
intoxicated.
knowing that the power of God moves within you, the fullness of the universe flows within you. By knowing that, and knowing that that gift is not a gift for you, but a gift for others.
Do you believe the universe is good?
Once again, are you trying to make me eat from a tree I was told not to eat from?
No, but it's stated and I think that numbers even show that the world is majority bad everywhere, not just here, everywhere. The world's more majority
Because,
bad.
but it is because we continue to eat from that tree
Okay, I'm gonna be honest.
instead of the tree of life. Instead of the tree of life. Because in the tree of life lies purity, lies love, lies knowledge, lies greatness. But instead we choose to eat from this tree of good and evil that got us chasing after the concept of good and evil instead of chasing after life itself.
Okay, well, if two people exist with before any languages or any words or even existed, say they're mute. They're mute. Okay, they're mute. And they're eating food, and I'm severely hungry, and I steal your food from you. Was that who would deem that as good? Because doesn't there have to be rhetorics in place to deem something as good, right? Right. Even for you. That's undeniable, I believe, right?
In my world where I live, there is nothing that can be stolen from me because there is nothing that I own.
Um now are you saying the irrational and belligerent behaviors of mankind is because we ate from the tree of knowledge, right?
Absolutely. Isn't that the reason why we're here? Because in your scripture, Adam and Eve ate from a tree that they were told not to eat from. Isn't that the reason why you yourself continue to talk about good and evil?
No, that's not the specified reason. So you do know how big the Bible really is, right? And you read that whole thing, right? And that's your. I mean, if I were you, I'd have way stronger arguments to disprove me. I mean, Adam and Eve?
I'm not here to try to argue anything. In fact, I'm trying to keep it as simple as possible. You're the one with the argument. I'm just here talking.
Okay, Adam and Eve. Yeah, you're right. That is what happened in some Catholicism text and Lutheran text. You're right. That's why we have a contradiction or belief of good and bad because of that, and not just that, but other things. But you're right. I'm not gonna say you're wrong. I'm not a ignorant person, but you know. But what's the concept? So because of Adam and Eve eating from that tree, right? Or the case of that explains the behavior of mankind to this day.
It's
Why?
because you continue to eat from that tree that explains the behavior of mankind.
Okay, now,
It's not about Adam and Eve. That's about you eating from that tree right here, right now.
okay, is this okay?
Because you accepting the sins of Adam of eating that tree is what's making you eat it right here in the present. Even when you were told not to. Who cares about Adam and Eve? You're doing it now.
Okay, and eating, and I'm guessing you're referring to like eating off that tree like Adam is like trying to believe something is good or argue something is bad or argue something is good when you should just be living purely, right?
Absolutely.
You see, I'm not dumb. You see, I'm pretty fluid and versatile.
I never said you were. You're very intelligent. Beautiful brother you are.
Thank you, and you're pretty tranquil, which is a good characteristic trait to have as a black man. Now,
I'm not black, brother.
oh, okay. Well, sorry.
Oh, you caught me in the skin, this outfit? Oh, you seen this? Oh yeah, no, this is just something I put on.
Well, actually, I've heard that black people who have more melanin in their skin are more spiritually awakened, and this has been proven since the 1600s. Yep, even in Africa, when white tea people went there, you know what Africans told them when they want to learn voodoo? They said you can't because you don't have enough melanin in your body. They said that to the white man. Now, what's your thoughts on that?
My thoughts on that is that let any vessel trained to be a vessel of the spirit be a vessel of the spirit.
Now, because of your belief, you're saying no spirit can either be good or bad, right?
It's just the spirit.
Okay, that's where you lost me. All right, because what about Codex Gigas? That was like a real demonic force people like higher end Americans tried to use. Do you know in that spirit's good? You're gonna tell a child to go talk to it, be calm and divine. Like what?
No, that's not what I'm saying.
Okay, so there are spirits that do more good.
What I'm saying is if you're fully aware of who you are, where you are, then you know who not to be around and where not to be around.
Well, why would you have to not be around something when you are just here? Because choosing to not be around something, it means you're thinking like Adam. No, you're thinking like Adam.
Because it's not conducive to your being. As to say, you wouldn't catch a cactus in the ocean and you wouldn't catch seaweed in the desert. It's not conducive to their being. Now is it?
No, and that what you just said lines up with the biblical scripture. So I'm gonna say you make sense on that one because the Lord said that. He said something just like that, but you're just saying it in human terms. But I like that. You're there. You're just let's keep talking. So so
you're fun. I love you, brother. You're fun.
Thank you, man. I wish on your upkeep of your life. I really do.
Right.
So the more in spirit you are, and the more you're just here. Is there a pathway to start that? How would someone start that? And what does it consist of?
By realizing where your feet are and realizing the way your nose is pointed. You see, there's nowhere to start the journey except for where you are.
Um, Now, I like this. I like this because you're not condoning anything bad, and that's all that matters. But I have big questions when it comes to things because I know you have. I know you're not going to objectify morality. If you see something that is purely wrong, what do you deem it as? If you're like a person that just lives freely,
Mm. I deem it as a person who doesn't know themselves, a person who is still searching for themselves, who is still healing within themselves. I deem it as also an expression for the universe to feel this way, to not know itself or to feel pain in a way. That way it can build off of that and have something greater.
okay. I'm gonna keep going with that. So someone, you say you know, police, you're not in trouble, but they want to talk to you about something important, and they say, "Hey, we don't mean to bother you. We're sorry, but there is a case here," and they say, "This man here, he hurt somebody. Okay, he hurt a younger boy, and he hurt a younger girl. Okay, he's an adult, and he didn't, you know, brutalize them. He did a crime, and you would." What would for someone spiritual, not spiritual, but free of just you're like levitating, right? As your soul is, right? What would be his consequence? You know, because I want to know your mindset, and I think that's important for me to learn.
An eye for an eye. Let the penalty match the crime.
Okay, we've had that before. Okay, you know what that did? That caused continuous war and destruction, no matter what, because it's called pride.
It did because people aren't willing to fess up to their crimes.
Okay, good point. You know, not a good point, but very strong argument. So I'm gonna try to think about that one. What about when it comes to war? Basic war. You could think of Pearl Harbor,
War.
something basic. Yeah, something basic, nothing crazy, just something basic.
War is an act of the body.
You're right. It is an act between the body. It is within the body, and it takes multiple groups of people, okay, to start war. Now, you're saying wars because of our thinking of Adam and Eve, and I can agree. What I'm lost
No,
at is
I'm not saying it's a thing of Adam and Eve. I'm saying it's an act of the body. You see, that war was always there. But once we started to truly live in the body, then we adapted ways of the body instead of ways of the spirit.
okay. Okay. So, so I know I'm going to ask this once because I'm going to make sure I'm right. So you don't have a belief system that neither anyone is good and that neither anyone is bad.
We are just what we are, aren't we?
So that's where me, not just me, because other people, especially white men, but me and a lot of other maybe educated people who can expand their minds and be criticized and not be mad would say, well, that's where we have a problem because you don't believe that someone could be inherently or grow into be a bad or monstrous person or a malicious or vicious person. And
I know that if I plant an apple seed, I get an apple seed. If I plant an orange seed, I get an orange seed. I know if I plant a seed in a ground that has no fertilizer in it, I might not get or any minerals in the soil. I won't get any get any fruit from the seed. I know if I plant a seed in a certain type of oil in a certain type of soil, I will get seeds in abundance, fruit in abundance. I know that wherever a soul lies will be the product of that soul.
So what
As a
about
man thinketh, so shall he be.
so what about the 8-year-old girl on the border that got viciously raped by multiple people? So what was her calling? No, 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 no. I'm going to answer the question in the comments, Kiana. It was the universe calling, right? So that's where people. I don't have a problem with you guys. You guys are very smart and respectful and peaceful.
Y'all love to ask about grape. That's your favorite go-to.
Well,
Grape.
because it's a malicious act that and where you can really learn someone's morality talking about or even referencing it just one time, and
Yeah,
I will not break
but
it again.
you're blaming the act, but not blaming the climate.
Or we can
You're
blame
blaming the act,
the
but you're
men,
not blaming the climate.
but see the difference is
You're blaming the symptom, but not blaming the actual bacteria or fungus.
okay.
You see what happened just then?
Yeah, I do, I do. So not just so, but with that being said, if you were in court looking at these men, you would walk up to them and say, "You have not been found yet. The reason you maliciously raped that 8-year-old girl and laughed about it after is because you are not centered and peaceful." See, that's where people don't care about. I care about spirituality. I think it's vital. But I'm speaking on the behalf of your end and other people's end that don't believe in this. That's where they would have a strong argument to say spirituality is BS. I don't think it's BS,
Did
but
you hear what I said earlier, though?
yeah, but
Where
you're
I
bringing the
said an
climate. You're
eye
bringing
for an eye. You get what you paid for.
eye for an eye. Yeah, yeah. Now let's bring it back. Let's stop talking about all that sensitive stuff, right? Make it lighter now. So eye for an eye. I like that one. The reason I don't just like it, but I know about it is because of I'm not Muslim at all. But I know that's in the book of Quran, and that is the heaviest thing that Muslims believe in. That's why I believe Muslim people are just not people to mess with. In the Quran, it says eye for an eye. Allah would, when it would start, whenever a war would start, he would say eye for an eye. And what Allah would do, okay, is if people attacked him, he would wipe out their bloodline and then burn their land and then wipe out. He wouldn't even grape the women. He would just wipe out the rest of the women. That's how much he hated them. That's the
But see,
belief.
that's not an eye for an eye.
But that's in the scripture though, and that's
That's an
where
eye for a soul.
okay.
You see, and see, that's scripture, but I'm not even talking about where that actually came from, the Hammurabi Code. You ever heard of this, the Hammurabi Code?
No, I have not. I have not.
Well, you should go do some research on that. Get out of the scriptures and actually go to the origin of things, because what's in scripture, there are origins of that stuff that's in the scripture.
Okay, eye for an eye
The
doesn't.
Hammurabi Code.
Okay, but can't you agree? Okay, let's talk morality here. Eye for an eye does mitigate what someone could potentially be going through, what was done to them, and it could cause more unnecessary destruction and war. Like my grandmother's nephew, he took dimes out of his cousin's car, and his cousin popped them over like 40 cents, and he felt, yeah, if you're gonna steal from me, I'm gonna take your life, and guess what? He's a Muslim in jail. So
But see, that's not an eye for an eye, is it?
okay, what is an eye for an eye? Give me a good example.
An eye for an eye is an eye for an eye. That's what that is. If you step on my foot, I step on your foot. Even though I really don't live by that, although I see that as being the best way to handle altercations, because I truly live by turn the other cheek. Actually,
Yeah, that's the right way to
I
live.
truly live by that. But in order to bring this world to a point where they need to see what they're doing are actually hurting others, yes, an eye for an eye. But see, turning the other cheek comes when you realize that they're not hurting you, they're hurting themselves.
Okay, see, that's how I know you're really on the right track. Like you're like like you're just right there.
I'm right there. Holy shit, am I there or just like right there? Because I could have sworn I'm here and now.
No,
But you're trying to make me seem as if I'm like inching towards it when I'm telling you I'm here with Source.
well, because
I am.
number one, I respect you. I will never force religion down anyone's throat, and or any belief if they tell me what they already believe in. I legally have the right to say what I believe in because I believe in God, not Lutheranism, not Catholicism, and not Jehovah Witness. I believe in Christianity, the purity,
And I love you for that.
not the
And
Jewish.
then that I would say I am a Christian too. Would you believe that?
Yeah, I would believe that based on what you were saying. I mean, not Helio, but I'd for sure believe that. You'd be the first person I think, you know. But when you're very smart because I'm sure you already know people get really sensitive with that word, with the whole God thing, and it's hard for me. It's hard to break down to people. Like spiritual people think. Like I know tarot cards, warlocks, spirits. I know they do exist. I know they do. But a lot of people have a problem with Christianity because of Catholicism, Lutheranism, Jewish, and Jehovah Witness. Those are other branches of Christianity to confuse people and make them believe it.
You say it's to confuse people, but I say it's to bring them closer to the divine. Because let any flower bring you closer to nature. Let any woman bring you closer to love. Let any man bring you closer to protection. As let any religion bring you closer to God.
You're right. When I studied Muslim culture, when I was 18 and having a lot of doubts about my family believing in Jesus Christ, I did my research, and then within that 8 months, I studied everything. I studied all four branches of Christianity. I studied Muslim, basically everything, even Lusanitarian, and that's when I came to the conclusion that out of all these Bibles and scriptures, God has been the most pure and has the most, understanding. In other things, like other gods cause war, other gods say, yeah, take their children, or other gods say, if they hurt you, you take everything they have. But what God says is, he talked basically everything you just quoted in this live. Everything you quoted in this live was from a scripture I can find in the Bible. That's why I'm not going to be ignorant, but you're very smart, very smart.
Bro, it's not even me, brother. I live in the spirit. All that I have is of the spirit. All that I share is of the spirit, bro.
Hey, famous Nico. I did see that. You're right, and Lucifer. That's why I came up here because I did think for a second, serious, that you were a full Satanist and you believed in all satanic text. Because I have satanic text from the satanic Bible that was made in China, and you know what the text says? There's a demon that will grant you the ability to, and it has a specific name too. It will give you the ability to have children, not have children, like have them and do whatever you want with them. And the fact that they're Satanist openly in this world, that there are satanic texts telling you how to summon these demons with specific sacrifice, it astounds me that people say God is bad and Lucifer's good. But Lucifer has text on how to, grape women and not just grape women, but he also has text on how to destroy people. He also has text on how to destroy a woman and destroy a man. And with
Lucifer,
everything.
but see, you say Lucifer has these texts the way you say God has these texts, when you don't realize man has these texts. You know what I mean? Because all this is just a connection of the frequency, a connection of the spirit within the frequency that they live in.
Say that one more time. I'm listening. I'm really hard.
There, if let's say this: if you're listening to rap music all day long, then you're gonna probably doing rap music shit. Not the stereotype of the rap music culture, but sagging your pants, talking about women in a certain type of way, probably talking a certain way, wearing all types of jewelry in a certain like. If you're listening to country music, you're probably gonna wear plaid shirt and jeans and boots and probably drive a truck with antlers on the front of it, or you know what I mean? Because you're living in that certain frequency.
Okay, what you're saying makes sense because the USA.gov proved that frequency can change human behavior. It is capable of picking up physical objects, and frequency is also extremely sensitive to a child's mind. And they've seen that in the cerebral cortex. I read the document.
But
So
what
I believe you. I
what
believe that frequencies are
So
real.
what?
I know that.
But I say that to say this, right? That frequency that we're putting out is a representation of a humanoid thought in some way. Yeah, of a humanoid thought. Like
You
whether
know,
we decide to put
humanoid. You know what that humanoid is like a it's like a technically a word for demon. You know, if you want to, I didn't mean to interrupt you. Go ahead. That doesn't matter. Go ahead.
no, no, no. You're fine. You're fine in saying that. But you're I've actually read that too, humanoid, as to be separate from the hue, like that type of deal. But anyway. But when we're thinking from that humanoid type of standpoint, we're not thinking from a spiritual type of standpoint. We're not thinking from a God type of standpoint, and to try to define God from a humanoid type of standpoint, or even try to describe good or evil from a humanoid type of standpoint instead of the spirit, you're going to come off as you view your environment around you. And if you see all the bad things going around you and you're in that
Oh
frequency,
wow, bro. Oh
you
my
know what I
God,
mean?
that makes sense. That makes so much sense. Oh my God. I was trying to figure what that was called for like a good year because I met people that are very hateful but very intelligent and smart. And what they're saying is not subjective, it's descriptively true, but you can tell they're a hateful person. And what you're saying explains that. Makes sense. Makes sense.
Because it's the frequency that they're on, so they can only describe the world and how they see it. So
And
this is why we even have the concept of God, knowing that God and Lucifer is not separate, but in fact one entity acting out for one main goal to perfect the kingdom.
no, no, no,
Then
no.
we'll go ahead.
So the I've came across that one a lot of times, and I really try. Even my sister, who's I won't speak about her, but that God is so. In order for God to become and be omnibenevolent, that term, okay, that behavior has been seen in the Bible, especially in Genesis, right? Especially there. That proves that God feels, cries, knows, laughs, has a humorous, joking
And
side,
and regrets and
and
regrets.
regrets. You're right, because Genesis 1:1, he grieved, and he regretted his decision in making mankind. Now, you can't, now, here's where I wouldn't argue with you, but I'll just say, how can I say that, a Luciferin being and a Christ-like being is really one whole entity when God, especially in Deuteronomy, specifically stated in the book of Job on how the Satan would have to ask him for permission to do bad, and this is way,
Is
way, 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 way after God did, Satan got kicked out of heaven, and he did grant Satan the authority over earth. He did. So I do understand that.
right there. You said he had to ask God. Satan had to ask permission to do bad. And that in that moment right there, Satan gave all his power to God in order to say, if I am to do your will, can I do it now?
Right, and but remember, that's not okay. Now here we're gonna get a little subjective. I'm not gonna be upset. There's no right answer. We don't know.
Let's have
But
fun. Let's have fun.
remember, God, if Satan has to go up to God, right, and ask to do bad, when God has himself has never committed bad, and the Bible does tell you, right, when you first started, that when Satan was of pure evil, he was no good. Even when other angels went to God and said, wait, Lucifer did make really good music, he was the most beautiful angel, God said, no, he's of evil. And then they understood. So does that right there explain that they're two separate entities? Yes, sir. Oh, go ahead.
That explains that temperature always changes. Although you may have a pot of water, you can turn that pot of water to be up to 350 degrees, or you can turn it down to be freezing. But in any event, the temperature of that water is the purpose in which you place that water.
Okay, hold on. Let me think. Just let me think. I gotta understand the reference.
What I'm saying is that all angles of light have a purpose. All angles of light have a manifestation, but it's still light.
You're right. You're right. It is still light. That part's right. I'm just trying to understand the previous. Okay, so what about the scripture that says that Satan himself, okay, well, they talk about it that Satan has the ability, okay, he says it's in the Bible, he has the ability to influence your mind, okay, and then he also, now this is without God's direction, because it states what can Satan do and not do without God's authority. There's a full scripture on it in the Bible. But when God wants to do good for you, okay, he first has to see where your heart is. God doesn't judge your looks, your words, or your knowledge. He judges your spirit like you do, okay? Like all people should, but we can't because we're not God, okay? So what the things Satan can do, those things would be he can influence you, okay? He can like harass you, bother you, he can do things in your life, he can scare you. What he cannot do without God's permission, okay, and that would be to take a life of a loved one, for you to become in like a serious car wreck or lose your wife or say your newborn baby didn't make it, unfortunately. A lot of people, and I know some that say, God, why would you? But most people who say, God, why would you, never read the book of Job. Because you exist, what makes you better than Job? And he got
So,
everything taken. No. That's a prime example of human nature, right? Because that's what
right.
people would do, right? What exactly did Job do? And why would any of us here think that we're special or more better than him?
And see, this is why I say that if we're truly living in the spirit, then all glory, whether that be glory that was brought upon you in turmoil,
Okay.
all glory goes to the divine spirit within all of us. So it's not to be caught up in the good or bad or the gains or losses. It's to be caught up in the growth of the spirit, for real, for real.
Do you think that there are
And that's
entities? Do you think there are entities and or spirits that you cannot control and or handle?
the only ones you can't control or can't handle is the same ones that you can't control and handle within yourself.
Okay, so I'm going to use your ideology just a little bit, nothing crazy, but say a young girl who's 16, young boy who's 16, let's be fair, young boy who's 16, he's really into stuff like that, and he dabbles into Codex Gigas, right? And he says, hey, and he casually tells you, yeah, like I did some crazy ritual like a couple months ago, and before you know it, I've been flourishing in college. I got this crazy job, and now I'm a bit, I'm an owner of things, but the price is I made with Gigas was I would be gone at 35. That was the deal I made. Now, first, what would be the first thing you'd ask him? I just want to that's what I say. I'm the boy. What would you like? What are we talking about? You go. What would you tell me? right? The spirits need lungs.
What would I tell you?
Yeah,
I would tell you, why would you put a finish line on it?
because
I would actually.
that was the policy of the spirit and the ritual.
That
That
was
was
the policy that you chose from the spirit. It wasn't the policy that the spirit gave you. See, I know the true spirit gives you everything that you want. I remember.
No, that's false because God says everything that we want is what we want. God says everything I give you is what you need because he says our minds are skewed. Our minds are naturally skewed. If I got everything I wanted right now, Cyrus, I got everything I wanted, I would not be this intellectual and I'd probably be making fun of you and everybody. Probably wouldn't even be Christian or even have
No,
the
I
knowledge.
didn't.
Go ahead.
You see, is sometimes the things that you want are not the things that you ask for.
Okay. And I see that. I see that. I see that a lot. And you're right. Absolutely right. So do you believe
Hey,
that
last
there's some
question.
okay,
I
go ahead.
got other people I gotta get to. Last question. This your last question. Go ahead.
All right. Do you believe that that someone can encounter, whether they're willing or not willing, they could encounter a bad spirit that could harm them? Do you believe that is possible? Yes or no?
Once again, life is a reflection. And if you choose to eat from the tree of the knowledge of good and evil, may that reflection of that fruit you eat show you something in yourself that you had not seen before. But peace to you, brother. I love
Peace,
you.
man.
Come
Love you
back.
too, man.
Yo,
Stay up.
come back and holler at me again, bro. We'll finish this, all right?
Sure will.
All right. Yo, that was our beautiful brother Lennar. I know we was going for a while. I normally don't like to hold on for that long, but it was a good conversation. I'm not gonna cap. It was a good one. Misty, yo, sis, what's good with you?
Hi, how are you? Peace reflection. How have you
Everything is
been?
everything. Everything is everything. You know what I mean?
I know what you mean. I
Right.
thought of you the other day because, you always talk about the breath. And I was in your live a little bit earlier, and I think you were having a conversation with someone. I forgot. It's kind of eluded me right now, but I know that's what you always focus on. And you'll tell people, when people ask, well, how are you, God? Or they'll ask you that, and you'll say, and then you just breathe, right?
Yeah.
So I saw this video from KRS-One, and he brought about something that was very interesting that made me think of you too, because you have already discovered this, right, with the breath. But he made a valid point. He said, you could lose your breath right now. Be struggling for your breath. And the first thing that is going to happen, well, I'll ask you, what's the first thing that's going to happen? And you can't breathe anymore within like 4 minutes.
You lose consciousness.
Exactly. But see, your body will still be alive. Your heart will still be working.
Absolutely.
Other stuff will still be working. But you lose consciousness. Why? Because
Right.
consciousness is the breath, because you need the breath for that.
And
And
if your breath is being jarred out
breath
of you,
And the breath is consciousness, which is God, which they said in Genesis, what? God breathed the life into Adam, right? So he is the breath. That's exactly what it is. And we're overcomplicating it with all the things outside of ourselves.
absolutely. You said this was a KRS-One video?
Yeah. It's a
Man,
little
man, I gotta get up
There's
with
a
him,
little
man, because
short I saw, and he was talking about that, and he related it. And I said, I instantly thought of you when he said that, because I said, he always says that when he talks about the breath, and he's right. You lose consciousness first, but everything else in your body will still be working, not for long, right? Because you need that breath for it to still continue. But when you lose consciousness, that's you, and they can keep people a lot, on machines, and their consciousness is already gone. But that
and then
consciousness here is important.
And then what do most people come back when they're in a coma? Like, I had an outer body experience. I
Ah,
was watching you watch over me because you were connected
right.
to the air at this point.
Exactly.
You're connected to the spirit, purely the spirit, not the body that holds the spirit that you've tied your entire existence to, but just to experience what existence is truly about.
You got to have the breath.
Gotta have it. Gotta have it. Got breath. Like, hey,
That
yo,
helps.
got breath.
Better have some breath or you ain't going to get nothing. Because the
Right,
breath is
right.
first thing,
And it's not so complicated, sister.
it's not.
Like you said,
That
it's
first
just
breath from
go
your
ahead.
child when they're born, that first breath they take, and you hear them start crying after that is everything, right?
Right, right, right. And you hear them scream, you're like, God damn, I got 18 years.
No,
No.
I didn't think that till later. But the first you listen for
Nah,
that. Are they okay? They got the mothers. The mother's
nah,
like,
I'm
are they
joking.
okay? Because you listen for that. Because
Every,
there's stillborns,
every,
that it happens.
every parent, every great parent knows that this job is for life. It's not for 18 years.
Yeah. Well, another thing I thought about, because you know how people be like, I wouldn't want to come back. If I have a choice, wouldn't. And so you know how there's miscarriages and things like that. I said, well, and I
Right,
thought about the movie Soul and how that the one that he was supposed to guard over, she never was coming down, right? Because she didn't want the experience or whatever was going on. So I had also heard that sometimes that's the experience that being wants is just it with its mother, just for that time, and then they don't want the other stuff, right? And I thought about that, and I said, okay, well, if I have to keep coming back, maybe I would. Why don't I just do that? But
just
then
come.
I said, well, is that selfish though? Because then that mother would always be sad. So you're coming into this being's life, you already know what your contract is. I'm getting the hell up out of here before I got to be born, right? But that mother is going to always think of you and be tragic. And is that fair for her? I don't know. I'm probably thinking of it from a human perspective.
Sometimes I've even had the thought of when I see those young ladies who have miscarriages, and I think, good. I'm glad that child got out of there because that was going to be some toxic shit. Like, sometimes, I'm not going to lie, sis. Like, we have to realize we chose this,
Right,
and that child is far more spiritually in tune coming into the womb than you'll ever be in your ripe old age,
right.
especially in the climate that we live in, right? So, I
Now,
mean,
yeah, it's
if
changing, but
that,
I hopes, but yeah, I get it.
if that is the case, then we also have to realize that nothing happens by mistake or coincidence. We also have to realize that every miscarriage, there was a beauty in that.
It was
There was
definitely
there was a soul coming to the realization, and maybe helping another soul who had been here for a while come to the realization.
right. But thinking of it that way also kind of led me on a path of, everybody said, well, what about children that are suffering and that pass away of these diseases and these things going on? I'm like, well, if that's a contract and that's the experience they wanted, they didn't want to get to the other part. They knew what that was and they just said, okay, I just want to have this experience this time. So you can't really look at it that way and say, oh, God is not merciful because this person had to suffer and pass away. And we understand to age is a
Right.
blessing, right? I'm not saying that part either. Like to go through the process is beautiful as well. But if that's just the experience that person wanted, then you kind of have to look at it like it wasn't really a tragedy. It was just what was supposed to always be.
It's just what it is. My wife was showing me something the other day about a little 3-year-old boy who took himself to his body from his past life where he was buried.
I saw that. I saw that story.
And
I
that
saw
guy
that.
and that had me think, man, is this world something that
Yeah.
if that little boy were to able to really tap into that life, he could just add on to the experience. But we jar our children out of that experience, out of that recollection of life, of the continuation of spirit. We like to
Yeah,
break up the
I
breaths
was a
in
kid
the
that
bed.
remembered stuff, and I was told I can't remember that. So then it went somewhere and degressed for a while, and then came back, and I remembered, when I was a kid remembering it. So um, I don't know all things, but I just, if you remember something, you just do. And sometimes I question, well, is that actually a real memory, or is it because if you understand DNA and it's nothing but a source code, right? It's information, just like with computers. And then you have these memories because you're able to synthesize that DNA as information. And that's what brings the memory back. So I'm having trouble deciding between the two. But it doesn't even matter.
But that also what brings the contracts as well, sis.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because
But you have all the DNA in you from past people in your ancestry.
right. And you get to a point where it's like, okay, I wanna transfer into this line, but I only want to do it for this kind of spell, this type of, you know what I mean?
Yeah, to have this experience at this time right now, because that's what I wanted to do from the beginning. And that's
Yeah,
why it's happening.
exactly. And that's why I tell people all the time, enjoy life because you chose it.
Exactly. And if that's something you say, oh, I wouldn't have chose this, then no, but you did. And you have to understand that. And once you can understand it, then you can choose something differently.
Right.
But until then, you're just still being tossed. You're still in that shit being tossed and fro. You can't walk on the water yet.
And now you still that baby screaming for mama's tit. That's what you and it's okay to be that baby spirit. It's okay to be that baby spirit. I think there's a beauty in that. To see a person come to be like, I didn't choose any of this. I think
Oh,
there's
I was that
something.
person.
I think
But
there's a
then,
beauty
yeah.
because they have something to awaken to.
Yeah.
You know.
Right. And then when I thought the
And
fact that it was a game that you set up, I was like, oh, it was a game I set up. Good Lord. I said, well,
with
no wonder.
all the characters, and then wait for people to sit down and play it with you. Ain't that a bitch?
Yeah. But then it made the experience easier because I'm like, well, this is a game I set up. I already know I set it up with a lot of
Yeah.
loopholes and, you
Right.
know.
Right.
So,
And but we all still having fun. Anything else you want to talk about, sis?
no, 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 no. I just wanted to share that with you. You've been beautiful. I've just mostly been in the comments listening, but it's a wonderful
Oh,
life.
sis. It is a wonderful life, and you're beautiful too as well. So thank you so much for sharing this space. I appreciate all your support of God Talk. Thank you so much.
You are most welcome. Until next time, my beautiful brother. Peace, my
Till
reflection.
next time. Yes, my beautiful sister. Peace. Yeah, that was our beautiful sister, Misty Rain. Yo, when I first met her, I called her Misty. I called her Misty Train. I'm like, what the fuck? She was like, what the fuck? That's not my name. Oh damn. I read it too fast, sometimes. A God that needs to defecate. Uh, Obviously, you've never taken a good shit to know what that feels like. Yo, have you ever taken a good shit and you're like, yo, I could have had 3 more of those? Obviously, you don't know the pleasure of defecating. Like, y'all be playing with yourselves. Stop it. Stop it. Y'all try to make yourselves above everything, even death. If Christ, who you call God, fashioned himself for death, to defecate, to hang out with assorted lot and wine bibbers, will you act like you're so much better than that? We act like God is so much better than that. Kiana. Yo, Kiana. Am I saying that right, sister?
Perfect.
Oh, peace and balance, sister. Welcome to Godtalk.
Thank you. Peace and light to you, brother. Thank you for sharing all your beautiful wisdom and insight with us. I really just
It's
wanted
not.
to.
It's
Oh,
not
go
mine.
ahead.
No, I was gonna say it's not mine. It's all of ours. I'm giving back into the kingdom, which has given me so much.
Yes, you are, but it's your perspective. And sharing your perspective is what is opening the minds of people to see in higher dimensions.
I hear you.
And that part is what I'm grateful for, because I'm just listening to like a lot of people in the audience, looking at some of these messages. And what I'm realizing is that a lot of the people in the audience are stuck on words. And instead of like being able to see past what they've been taught. And when they're saying that, or, just reading the comments, you're not God, you're God that defecates. The whole idea of any of this is to be the highest version of what you could possibly imagine. So why would you not want to be God? That's what I don't understand. Like, not you. I understand, that what frequency you're vibrating on. But
I know what you mean. I know what you mean. I mean, it's a very valid question. Why wouldn't you want to be the highest form of self? And if
exactly.
and if he called them gods, to whom the word God came, scripture cannot be broken. And if you're not referring to yourself in the highest form of light, then you're breaking all of scripture. You're
What are you
breaking all.
doing?
Yeah, exactly.
And I think, honestly, but basically the reason I wanted to come up here is not really to address that, but what I've been researching lately, just wanted to get your opinion on. I'm starting to understand that there were a lot of people in history whose works have been suppressed because they believed that the planet and the stars were frequency modulator, basically just sound. And I have a camera. It's a Nikon B500, and it has like an 80 times zoom feature. And I started to, I've been looking at the stars, looking at the planets, recording them. I have some recorded. And what I'm understanding, what I'm seeing is that they are sound waves.
hmm
And
And they know this as well. This is why in the court of law they say of being of sound mind and body and judgment.
yes, and I'm understanding that what was lost was just the ability to interpret sound and frequency and understand the names, not necessarily names that we can pronounce, but names of the planets that we can actually tune into. I'm learning that fruits and vegetables and all of these colored, colorful plants are
hmm
vibrating the sound frequency of these planets. And so when you eat them, it's tuning us into the frequency of whatever that planet is. And I'm floored
Absolutely.
because
And
it's
I was
go
gonna
ahead.
say, and it's also tuning into your chakra system as well.
It's all connected, right? All the sacred geometry, the
Yeah,
angles, the sound waves, the frequencies.
yeah.
And
And
so I just
isn't
wanted
it
to get your
amazing?
opinion. What's that?
I said, isn't it amazing?
It is. It really is. And when you said something earlier, like talking about the breath, basically learning how to breathe properly tunes us into these different planets and allows us to utilize their influence, whether it's
Hmm.
love from Venus, whether it's speech from Mercury, whether it's expansion and wealth from Jupiter, whether
Hmm.
it's structure and grounding from Saturn, like all of
I
the
like to
planet.
call I like to call Saturn that old grandpa sitting on the porch with his shotgun.
I can imagine that. I can
That's how I
imagine
like to imagine.
that. He
Yeah.
mean well.
Yeah, but he just wants you to get off his grass and pull your pants up. That's all.
That's it.
And I'm with this. Sis. Like everything in this universe has a particular frequency that it gives out, a certain temperature, I like to call it, that creates something in you. If you see it in a certain way, it could benefit you or it can tear you down to nothing, just to bring you back up to a space where it will benefit you.
Right. No, I
You know.
agree. I was listening to the young man you had up here earlier asking you question after question. It kept going back to good or bad, good or bad, good or bad. And it was like you would say something and he would get it, and then it wouldn't stick. He would immediately go back to the lessons, the things that we were taught, the things that keep us, like you said, eating that fruit. And I, you did great with that. I just wanted to mention that you handled that as well as anybody, well, as better than anybody probably could. And then the last
It's
thing,
love. Sister. It's love.
yeah, the way that you are so calm and patient and able to listen and give a response back. It was a it was a perfect demonstration of love, acceptance, all of those things. And I'm glad you're here because him having someone to be able to ask these questions to who could give it back to him that way is actually going to help him grow. You planted a lot of seeds, and I could tell that his mind was just spinning, his brain was spinning.
And that's what the spirit does, especially if you're here to connect with the spirit. The spirit will show you all things. But if you're here to tear down the spirit, it's going to show you exactly the demon that you got in you. And I could tell that he was a great man looking for nothing but genuine connection and genuine understanding. And I was here to give him that.
Yeah, that's exactly
You
what he
know,
was looking for. And you could tell just by the questioning and by him actually like listening to your responses, and it was sinking in, but it's the more he thinks about it, it's going to keep growing.
that's why I told him to come back. That's why I said, come back. We'll continue this. Just like I'm about to tell you, come back and we'll continue this.
Absolutely, absolutely. I
But
just
Sister
wanted to
Kia,
say,
go
no,
ahead.
go ahead.
No,
That
you.
last conversation, I just wanted to say, my who now 16-year-old son, when he was 5, he did, or when he was 2, he actually did remember his past life. And that's when everything changed for me. He just started crying in the back seat one day. He was telling me he missed his mommy. And I was laughing because I thought he was playing. And I was like, I'm right here. I had just picked him up from daycare. I was like, it's okay, mommy. Mommy's here. And he was like, no, I miss my other mommy. And I almost like stumped on my brakes because I didn't know what he was talking about. But he was telling me what happened. And all the way up until the age of 6, he remembered everything. He was telling me stories about his other family, and then I figured out he was the one who had probably transitioned. But that's the reason I wanted to come up, was just to say or mention to parents whenever they have young kids that are saying things like that, to just listen to them, because it is them tapping into their past lives, and they will forget once they start learning their ABCs and of course this grammar that we're taught today. But it definitely is something that I experienced, and because I took it seriously, I was able to learn and grow from that. And that's all I wanted to finish saying.
That was beautiful. That was beautiful. And peace to you and your son and all his lives.
I
Right?
appreciate you.
Hey, love you, sister. Come back and holler at me. I'd love to hear more.
Absolutely gratitude, brother.
All right. Yeah, that was our beautiful sister, Kiana. Beautiful. Yo, it's 12:07. Yo, I'm tripping, right? I'm tripping. Yo, I've enjoyed this live so much. I've enjoyed this space so much. Thank you. Thank you all for being here with me and sharing this space with me in love and peace and abundance with each other, and also having a few laughs here and there. You know how we do, right? You know, what's life without a good joke, right? Yo, I'm about to get off of here, but before I get off of here, I always like to leave off with beautiful words, and tonight is no different. And the beautiful words of tonight are, Our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thine kingdom come, thine will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread. Lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from all evil. For thine is the kingdom and the power and the glory forever, my beautiful brothers and sisters. Till next time. Peace.